evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the case may be, wherever you are watching this live stream. Another call-in show for you guys. Remember, this show is for you and you only. Your opinions, your clubs, your agenda, whatever you guys want to talk about. The pin tweet is the link. You click on the link, you put on your cameras, and let's chat. Let's chat, people. Let's chat about anything you want to. From Sadio Mane, Liverpool, lack of transfers, even though we bought transfers, FSG out. You want to talk about Spurs, Basuma. So much to talk about. Arsenal making big boy moves. Evening, guys. Evening, all the usuals. One of my favorites, none of your business is in the house. Always listen to Mustafa. Smash the like button, people. Siddharth Shahani is here. Yes, brother. Grizz Khan, Rafat says. Rafat. That is how you say it, Rafat. I know how to say your name, Rafat. Yeah, man. Big up, guys. Feel free to call in. I will be getting you guys on very, very soon. And we can discuss anything in the world of football. We can discuss anything you want, really. But preferably football, because that's what I like to talk about. Me personally, I'm a bit sad still coming to terms with one of the icons and legends, Sadio Mane. It's going to take some getting used to, man. It's going to take some getting used to. What a legend, what an icon, what a man. Thank you very much, George. Appreciate the kind words. Oh, another one of my favorites, pixelated pigeons in the house. Yeah, man. None of your business says Basuma, a good player with the wrong mentality to be elite. He chose location of success according to rumors. Yeah, man. It is what it is, isn't it? It's one of those ones. It's one of those ones where we don't know the ins and outs of it in terms of his personal case. So what we can judge him on is his performance on the pitch and as a football player. What a wonderful football player! What a wonderful football player! So I think it's a great signing. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Kevin, Kevin, you ask a very good and relevant question. The membership is now live. If you want to become a Grizz Khan Ultra, click on the link. Click on the description, on the link in the description to become a Grizz Khan Ultra. So many perks. Read through them. If you like it, join up. Yo, Black Prince, what's going on? Yeah, man. I miss Mane. We miss Mane already, man. He's not even gone yet officially. But when we see him lifting up the Bayern shirt, um, it's going to be even more sad, right? Carmino, love that name. Where's that name from, man? Tell me where that name's from. Carmino Pilla. Tell me. In fact, call in, man. Why are you guys being shy? Normally I have so many people waiting to call in. You guys haven't seen the pinned tweet? Loads of spaces. Don't start saying, oh man, we can't call in, we can't call in. There's loads of spaces right now. So if you want to get in, hit the link and we talk, man. We talk. There's some good. Yeah, Mane was a magnificent role model on and off the pitch. Low maintenance. That's what you call, man. Low maintenance. High quality, low maintenance. The ultimate professional. Christian says, "Hey Grizz, why did you block me on Twitter? I don't remember saying anything bad to you. I'm not that type of person. Maybe I did a light and non-harmful troll about Liverpool, but nothing too extreme. DM me. Oh, you can't DM me, for fuck's sake. I blocked you. If you follow me on Instagram, message me on Instagram. What's your Twitter handle? Or type in your Twitter handle here, and I'll unblock you if that's the case. Always an Italian name. Okay. Nice one. You can remember. You can become a member right now, bro. I'm gonna post the link to become a member right now. We got our first caller of the night. I'm gonna bring in Siddharth. There we go. Yes, Siddharth, how are you?
I'm fine, Grizz. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Not too bad, my brother. Just give me 1 second. Rafat, I can see you as well. Give me a few minutes to chat to Siddharth. You will be next as well, my friend. Siddharth, what's happening, man? Long time no speak. Every time you call, we've
Yeah.
been so busy, and it's been a Liverpool orientated show, so I didn't want Chelsea people. But today, how are you? The floor is yours. Nobody
I'm
wants to
fine.
talk about
How are
Liverpool,
you?
it seems. I'm good, man. I'm good. Not too bad. Not too bad. A little bit sad. One of my heroes, one of my legends, one of my icons, one of my favorites, if not the favorite player under the Jurgen Klopp era, is leaving. So I'm going to be a bit sad. I don't drink alcohol, so I'm just going to drown my sorrows with squash.
Okay.
So that's how I am. How are you?
I'm fine. I think he was my favorite player from Liverpool side, and also people don't like Andy Robertson. I like these two players who are nasty and who give the fight to others.
Sadio as well, like
And
that?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he always showed us the side of him against Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's unusual. Normally I can understand Robertson. He's one of those. How did you describe it? A pest. One of those
A,
guys that
a
if he was on your,
psychopath.
one of those guys that if he's on your side, you love him.
Yeah.
Everybody needs one of those or two of those on your side. But
We
as an
had
opposition,
Rudiger.
great example. Great example. Rudiger. You know,
This type of characters and leaders are needed in your time, in your squad when things are not going right.
absolutely,
They lift the
absolutely.
atmosphere.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. There you go, Kevin. You are now officially a Grizz Khan Ultra. Congratulations, my brother. Congratulations, people. Memberships are live now. If you feel like having some of the perks, join up. You get priorities on call-in shows, other interactive shows I'm gonna do. Yeah, man, you're an ultra right now, and it also the main thing helps support the channel. I'm looking to bring you much more content next season. I'm setting all the shows up during preseason. We're taking this channel to a different level. So all support will be much appreciated. TMC, walaikum salam, brother, walaikum salam. Siddharth, let's talk about your team, man. What's going on, man? A lot to do, a lot to do. Your new owner came out with something in the media this week and said he would love to follow the Liverpool model of operation. What did you think of that? What did you make of that comment? Did you see the
It's
comment?
the Yeah, it's the best model currently because everyone don't have money like Man City and Newcastle or PSG. So
Hmm.
it's the best sustained model around Europe, which you can find that you are selling Mane for 5 million more than you invested in first. So that's like a key to see that you are making profit, and also you are making, I guess, profit on Minamino. If
Hmm.
I'm not wrong, I'm not fully confident of that you are making a profit or not. If you are selling it on 20 million, I guess you are
We
making a
we
profit.
we bought Taki Minamino for 7 million. The minimum,
Yes,
the minimum we will get for him is 15 million. The minimum. Sadio
yeah,
Mane was bought for 32 million 6 years ago. He came in,
yes,
won everything for us. There is literally to win apart from the Charity Shield,
yeah.
and now we sold him for 35 million. Was it 37
35,
million?
and with bonuses add, it goes up to 42, I guess.
There you go. So it's an amazing way of running a business. It's just so coincides. It's a football club. So if we just look at it from a business point of view, we are by far the best business out there. There could be some criticism that it's not the perfect way to run a football team in terms of the success. I would argue it is, but there are obviously people that would argue, no, you
I
need people that
think
gonna
the
take risks.
competition, yeah, I think the competition of running a successful team against you would be Monaco because I think the last 10 players they sold, they made profit of around half a billion.
Yeah, true, true, true. So I want to give a shout out to William, latest member of the Grizz Khan Ultra Club. Big up yourself, William. Welcome, welcome to the club. Listen, you need to become an ultra as well, so that you've been following me as well. So when you get a chance, you
Yeah,
get a link up.
I'm
I'm
waiting.
gonna.
I'm waiting for next month when I get my first salary.
No, no,
That's
no,
when I can.
no pressure, no pressure. I'm gonna add Quasi to the
Mhm.
building as well because we need a. I want a variety of callers today and speakers. My brother Quasi, how are you?
Ah, my brother, good to see you.
I'm so sorry. I should have warned you that I'm bringing you on. I know
Yeah,
you like. I'm so sorry. I thought
no
I'd catch
problem,
you.
no problem. I was
Normally,
listening.
normally I send a message in the private chat to say you are
Yeah,
next. But I'm so sorry. I completely.
no problem, no problem. I'm glad to be here. I'm so
Good,
excited.
good, 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 good. See that. So what's happening, man? What's the situation with Chelsea? How are you feeling? Like for me
I'm not
and
feeling all
Quasi,
right
for
because
us from the outside, it looks like you have to do a lot. Are you expecting a lot to be done, or do you think it's a matter of just bringing back all the loan players and then maybe just starting again from the loan players and see if we can build from there?
I think we are not going to do that much this summer because there are not many good options and we don't want to go again like we did for Lukaku because that was a horrendous move. We couldn't get Haaland, we couldn't get anyone else, so we thought, what's the next thing? Lukaku, 100 million wasted, and it's a total waste. I don't think if we are getting 30 back, 40 back, it's like we get something back because it's a total waste of time and total waste of a season. And he started the disruption of the whole season by his
Mhm.
interview. So I think Harvard's on top would be good with Broya, giving him chance and seeing the process this season by making just top four, it will be all right. Because I don't think still Arsenal can compete with us and also nor Man United. Spurs can be competing against us because Conto is making signings which are very serious now. He's getting backed with the players he needs, and when the players he needs, he gets, he win titles.
I want to ask you very quickly about your opinion on the Lukaku situation. As far as you are concerned, he's done. There is no coming back for him, in your opinion.
No coming back, man. If he's disrespecting the whole club, and the reports coming that he was texting them before his interview that he want to come back, and after that he did that interview. So I don't think that player deserves to be in the club. Even if I was like, even if he doesn't get sold, let him be at home, just like Gareth Bale. Have your 325K at your home, but don't show at Cobham also.
But you paid a lot of money for him, and now there is nobody willing to pay even probably okay maybe half, but not much more than half. So you won't even get 60 million for him. Nobody's willing to pay. In fact, Inter are only willing to take him on loan.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Inter are going to take a 12 million loan this year and also I guess 10 million for next year, and after that it's around 30 million obligation to buy from
Wow.
recent reports.
It's a bad situation you suddenly find yourselves in. When I say mean
Yeah.
bad, it means, I mean, what I mean by that is there's a lot of experience leaving your club in defense, obviously in
Yeah,
attack.
the whole defense, I guess the whole defense except Thiago Silva is going. Uh, Means experienced defense. SP is going, Alonso is going, uh, uh, Rudiger left, Christensen left. So there needs to be a whole work hall there, like Man United are doing. But I think our job is slightly easier because we have top four and we can attract some players which have potential.
True, 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 true. Quasi, how are you, man? First,
Very well, brother. How you doing?
I'm good, my brother. Still a bit sad, but that's why after the Sadio Mane, obviously we knew that
Yeah.
he's going. But when it comes to realization that it's actually happening, I thought
Mhm.
I got to do a call in and talk to my community and talk to my people because it's good to talk.
No,
And when you're sad, when you're down, look, you don't always have to talk when you're happy and
happy.
everything's good.
It's
Sometimes
therapy.
it's sometimes good to talk exactly when you're emotionally a bit down. And Sadio Mane, we know what we think of Sadio Mane, but we'll get to that.
Mhm.
I wonder if you've got an opinion on Sidat and Chelsea situation.
Whew. Chelsea, you guys are wasted money on Lukaku. Everybody knows that. Your new owner, though, me being on this side of the pond, no, that guy doesn't like to lose.
Yes.
He's a big time investor, right? So
Okay,
he's a big he bought the LA Dodgers, and 2 years later or three they win the World Series, and then he's also part
Yes.
owner of the Lakers. So this guy is a big guy in those worlds.
he's a big player.
He's a big player.
He's a serial winner
He's a serial winner,
over
so he
there.
doesn't like to gamble. So this Lukaku thing is gonna hurt him a lot. So you guys are probably not gonna see something like this in a very long time, like that kind of money, and then lost like that. Maybe a 2 million, a 5 million, a 10 million. But Chelsea right now, you guys have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
Lot of work to do, and we're hearing that you guys gonna give Joshua a little bit more leeway. He's probably now gonna be driving.
But he deserves that.
Yeah,
If I was the owners, if I was the fans, I would want Tuchel to be in charge of a lot of dealings in terms of players because that's one of the things people say that when he's come in, he hasn't had his choice of player.
right.
So like William uh, asks Grizz, the value of Werner and Lukaku have fallen off a cliff. How, man?
Mhm.
And it's shocking. It's shocking. How much was Werner?
55.
Something like that.
Yeah, 55 on the dot.
Werner is still valuable because he's scoring goals for Germany and also his style of play suits Germany. And there is slight chance, and Matisse made a video on that, that Werner can be a part-way deal for swap deal for Gnabry because Nagelsmann like Werner and he made him that
Well,
deal,
he played for him.
which used to score almost same amount of goals as Robert Lewandowski. For three consecutive seasons, he was around 7 to 8 goals behind him in Bundesliga, and that's not a fluke over there.
It's crazy. Welcome to Pixelated Pigeon. You are a member as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, I don't know, man. I just see. I know you mentioned United, said that they've got, and it's a good comparison because I think Man United and
Yeah,
Chelsea are very, or should be very much looking over their shoulder
Spurs.
definitely.
because Spurs are making inroads. And even though Arsenal may not have the experienced manager, they are definitely backing him in the transfer market.
Mhm.
So that could also be dangerous.
But yesterday, you also told in the video that the profile of player that they are bringing doesn't suit their system, and it's not the 100% what they need.
At the moment,
Yeah,
so the players that they brought in so far or linked with, at the
yeah,
moment, in my humble opinion, doesn't improve them
Mhm.
enough to get in the top four. Gabriel Jesus
Could be a
definitely
different.
helps if they get that over
yes,
the line.
Mhm.
And then if they get a centre back in the mold of, sorry, then I found out that they get bringing Saliba back. That definitely
yes,
helps.
Mhm.
yeah,
And if they get a centre midfielder, which they are still in the market for, then so that then I put them very, very level, or possibly not ahead of you, but very level with the likes of you, Spurs, and United, those four teams trying to get two places because we know Man City and Liverpool will have The
Yeah,
first two.
it's a
Then it's a
it's
rat race.
sorted up there.
Then it's a rat race, my brother. Do you agree, Quasi? Or have you got an opinion on this?
I agree, but I would say the teams that you say going for a rat race, Man U's not ready.
Hmm.
Manchester United, they
At the
battle
moment,
Real.
they're not. At the
They're
moment,
not.
they're not.
They're not at all. I don't care. Ronaldo, no, they're not ready.
Hmm.
And even
One player
Chelsea, I'm
can't
going to
take the
tell you
whole
guys,
team.
a lot of you guys going to realize the hard work that Klopp have put in the last 5 years, or should I say six. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. But when you get it right, trust me, you guys are going to have so much fun. When we talk, we know what we're talking about. Yes, we have a section of our fans who are just a little bit out there, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be up and downs. Now, the question is, are you guys ready to back Tuchel? Not financially. I'm talking about support because it's going to
Yeah,
be.
that
Okay.
was the plan of a Boli from start that he's going to give Tuchel time. He's going to change the culture of the club that sacking new manager comes and the player that new manager comes don't like from previous managers, and that's what's happening now. The amount of players that are from different managers is huge. So 4 or 5 managers are having at least 2 players
Right.
of previous managers. So
Yeah.
it's a mess because the style of play doesn't match with everyone. Tuchel made a mistake with Lukaku. I am going to say that he made mistake because he was the one who would have approved that. It's not a thing that if a club wants a player and a manager does not approve, it doesn't happen.
Mm.
I take a shot towards him that because it doesn't suit our style to play to him because whenever Harvard's play, even though we were not clinical, everybody saw that we create a lot of chances and we
Mhm.
were missing just that finishing touch, which I thought Gabriel Jesus would be perfect for us in that false nine type center forward role because he can finish, even though he is not that clinical finisher, but he's better than rest of our attackers.
Would you take, because you've been linked with Raheem Sterling a lot?
Mm, That's a crazy one because if Ziyech leaves, then I would surely upgrade him on Raheem Sterling because one thing is that he has proven that he can provide goals and
Hmm.
assists. It's not like he's a shit player, but
Hmm.
we are missing a clinical finisher. Is he that? I have doubts over him because
But
chance
Chelsea,
we are going to create chances, but we
Chelsea,
need
your
a
midfield is
finisher.
not. Your midfield also needs rebuild because Kante is not as you use the solid guy who I personally think that there's triplets of them. There's like three of them who they keep swapping in every second. But your midfield, Kovacic tends to get injured quite a bit. You
Yeah.
know, Mount might maybe he will elevate a little bit, but bringing Gallagher back is a big shot.
I think we need a DM. That's a priority because if we get a DM, then we can rotate some players like Kovacic, Kante
Mm,
regarding big matches. Because if he's going to play with three at the back, then there are only two spots in midfield. So if he gets a DM and there are links of Jorginho going back to Juventus, if they are true, then we surely need a DM, and then we can rotate in that two spots.
mm,
I think your biggest key will be to try to get some. I don't know if you're going to go for more experienced defenders or younger defenders. The links so far are with the likes of Kunde, Gavidal, or how do you pronounce his name? You know the one I'm talking about from Germany, right? Bundesliga.
Yeah,
mm.
Guardiol.
Yeah, that's the one. So these guys to replace someone like Rudiger and Christensen, or possibly as Pelaqueta, I think you're asking for trouble personally.
Mhm.
But I also
Yeah, we would
understand
be
that you
doing the
can't.
mistake that Arsenal did
Mhm.
last season, that bringing young centre back. I think Koulibaly is the perfect shout for a replacement of Rudiger because he brings experience, and even if we are going to play back four, then he can shift towards that two centre back system. If we are shifting Thiago Silva regarding his age, then Kunde is the perfect partner because he can bomb forward and also come back with his speed.
Look, at the end of the day, we don't really care what happens over there, but we always have an interest, a
Right.
glancing eye, because
Yeah.
it's natural. It's natural. You have been so spoilt under Roman Abramovich. Any problem, he just opens his checkbook. But let's see now. This is going to be interesting. As I said to you, it's going to be interesting how you develop as a club, how your scouting department develops, how the
Right.
mindset of the fans changes now in terms of we have to operate differently. Um,
Yes.
Kevin says Kunde picked up an injury, correct? I know that was close to being done, but I don't know what happened to it now. I don't think it was a serious injury. I just think he's a good player and he's sought after. And when you have a good player and sought after, you try to wrap up these deals as soon as you can because otherwise clubs come sniffing around. And apparently Barcelona are coming in.
Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Omar's put the link in, guys, to if you want to join the channel as a member. Big up Omar as well. Of course, he's a member as well. But Siddharth, hopefully you get some good business done. Hopefully you don't fall too much away. Hopefully you still stay a little bit relevant. You know, otherwise, me and you
That's
gonna
1.75 billion for next 10-year contracted, not like Man United that are taking away money from the club.
fair
That
enough, fair
smart
enough.
business that Roman did.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Listen, always good to speak to you, my friend.
It's
Hope to catch up with you real
Yeah,
soon. Take care. Bye bye.
yeah.
Quasi man, how are you? What's
oh,
happening?
man, I'm gonna tell you after this journey for the quad, we all needed a break.
Mm-hmm.
And now that the king is leaving, I'm glad Golden State won because I don't think I would have dealt it well this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So Golden State winning kind of helped me a little bit, kind of like it's like sugar and spice, sad, happy, sad. But hey, uh, that goal against Arsenal, that's all I think about when I think about
That's
Salah.
your best. Is that your favorite? Is that your best memory of him? Favorite goal or what? What is it? Is that your best? Is
I
the
think
memory?
no, Mane has scored a beautiful goals.
What's your favorite? Or is that too hard?
Yeah, that would be hard. But the one that I am talking about, the Arsenal one, is because he made a statement. Let's be
Statement.
honest. When we signed him, everybody was saying we like him, but it's too much. Just the same thing with the Nunes situation.
Mm-hmm.
We like him, but it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
But when he scored that goal, everybody kept quiet.
Straight away.
Straight away, it was like, okay, club knows what he's doing. So with me, that goal always stands out. But the goal against Germany, I'm sorry, against Germany, against Bayern, the Champions League,
Mm-hmm.
as a quarterfinals.
Yep.
I mean, that was over. Nune also came out. I mean, that one you can't, And then the back heel, I think, was against Norwich.
Yeah, I think it was a home game. I don't think it was Norwich. I think it may have been. Oh, I can't remember. If people can remember, let us know. It might have
Yeah.
been Watford actually. Watford.
Watford,
Yep.
yes. I got the yellow
Against Watford.
jersey confused.
So many good goals. So many good goals. So many memories. So many. Where do you start with this guy and where do you end?
I mean, he was the genesis of the club what 1.0 era. He started it all. Yes, we had Bobby, Hendo was there, but when we said we're going on a different path and a different trajectory, that was Mane. Salah was there, sprinkled on top.
Yeah, look, Bobby was already there because Bobby was bought before them two guys, and Bobby was still trying to find his position, his feet. And we didn't have much pace when these guys were in there.
Mm-mm.
Lallana, Coutinho, Bobby. There was not
Bobby,
much
yeah.
pace in this attack. And then this guy came. I think. Hold on. If I'm correct, was Benteke there as well at that time? I'm not 100%
I think
sure.
Club sold him when he got there. I
Yes.
remember Benteke he was in California with them, but when they went back, that's when we let him go the first year.
Yes. That's right.
The first full year, yeah.
Yeah. And then this guy comes in and, you know, people raise their eyebrows at the price and where he's coming from. And is he all that? But my God, he proved
Oh
people
man.
wrong, right? He
Oh
proved
man.
people wrong very quickly. And you know what?
Why we made it top 4 that year.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, especially that goal against Everton.
Yes, yes.
That goal against Everton. That
Nine,
was
in the 90 something minute or just,
yeah, literally in the last minute.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing, amazing. When it hit the post and it didn't look like we were going to get a win, you know, out of the blue, out of the red, I should say. I shouldn't say out of the blue, out of the red. He suddenly scores that goal. My God, he came up so clutch in so many moments, man. Just when we need someone here. We need a moment here.
Yeah.
Always there for us.
And then I could even say the year that we won the Premiership, that goal against Aston Villa, the last minute.
Oh, of course.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, Robo also did his thing. But the last minute, that's where what's his name? The boy HH called him El Dios. It's like he's clutch. He's clutch. And a few games that I quite remember that he came in. I mean, against City. Oh my God. Both games. The first year, the Champions League year, and then when we won even when we went 97 points. Yeah, money. It's gonna be sad. But this is Liverpool. We move, huh?
We have to. We have to, Quasi. What happens? Look, I tell you why we are sad more than I am anyway. Everyone has their own opinions. Everyone has their own sadness and everyone has their own disappointment. Some people may feel as though Coutinho was more sad for them. Some people Torres was more sad for them, or whoever. For me, the reason why Sadio is so sad for me is because he won everything in his time here, and he stayed throughout the journey. You know, I'm sure there was moments and times where he was offered big moves, 100%. But he stayed with us throughout, done his 6 years.
Didn't Madrid came after him?
Yeah. All the time. Yeah. But the point being is, when you got a man like that who sticks with you for 6 years, you can't begrudge him, man. You can't begrudge him. He's an absolute legend and an icon. Talking about legends and icons, let me in my brother Saeed, who's ready to just.
Oh man, the legend! Don't do this to me, Grace.
I have to do this to you.
Don't do this to me. I'm already sweating because of you. Now I'm gonna have to deal with the man himself.
Saeed, what's happening,
my brother? I'm a big fan of yours.
Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Straight Jacket. I'm always watching it.
Thank you, brother, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me on Grizz. What's your name?
I have to say something to you.
Quasi, my brother Quasi. Say hello to my brother Quasi.
Nice to meet you, bro.
I have to say something real quick. You guys don't know how much you save lives, especially during the quarantine.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
That's humbling, man.
Rough. I mean, I'm on the other side of the phone, so I'm just saying, you guys have done wonderful, and you guys are the reason why I'm also here, also have my channel, and I'm still going. Even when I have 2 views, I still keep going. So
no, man, keep going, man. Because I remember when I was doing videos in like coffee shops.
Oops.
The internet.
Yeah. He's always using people's internet. but look.
Can you hear me back? A phone call came through.
Oh, you're back.
Okay.
You're back.
Yeah, busy guy. But basically, what I'm trying to say to you, brother, keep believing, man. Because for me, you know, life is all about believing. I remember I was in corner shops. I was getting 10 views. I was even telling my little brothers and that to tell his little brothers to subscribe, bro.
Yeah.
So you come from humble beginnings. So always have that belief that, you know what, you could do it, man. Because it's all about consistency. That's Grizz will tell you as well, man. The more videos you put out there, the more kind of, you know, content you put out there. You know what I mean? Once you stop, that's when things don't go well. But yeah, man, good luck to you, man. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
100%, man.
Thank you so much.
But Saeed, me and Quasi were just catching up with the Sadio Mane situation, man. Like, it's a sad day for Liverpool people, man.
Yeah, it is, man.
What did you think of him, man? Like, from a rival point of view, his time at Liverpool. How highly do you rank him, or do you think? What do you think about Sadio
I think for me, he was the one that I found the most scariest because of his power.
Okay.
Every game, if there's one person I looked upon, front three was Sadio Mane. I think with Salah, I've always thought technically, I was like, he'll get goals, but he doesn't scare me in terms of running at you and maybe kind of causing problems in that sort of way. I think he's a killer, he's a finisher, he's an unbelievable goal scorer. But Sadio Mane, his pace, his endeavour, the way he presses, he's just a complete animal. And I've always found him to be the one where I'm like, yeah, I fear Sadio Mane. And you know what? You have to respect what he's done, man, for Liverpool. I think he'll go down as a Liverpool legend, whether people like it or not. I think he is a Liverpool legend. I think he earns that respect from the Liverpool fan base, and I think from the rival fan base. And I think for me, the way he conducts himself as well, he's a very humble brother. I think he's, you know what I mean? It's almost, for me, it's like a Kante. A lot of people like Kante, but I think Sadio Mane is on that level where I can't really hate on him. He doesn't come across an arrogant person. He's always helping people off the pitch. I mean, James Redmond told me about his efforts to help in Senegal or whatnot.
Big work.
Charity.
Big
work. See, I didn't know about that. So for me, kudos to him. And you know what, man? I just think for me, I think he thought, you know what? I know my worth. And maybe Liverpool are not giving me that. Maybe Liverpool is not providing that. And that's not anything to do with Liverpool. Liverpool have a very, very good wage structure. So they're not going to do that. And I think for me, the cycle ended. And it's a new challenge, man. Players want a new challenge, you know, in a different league. That is the German league. He will dominate that league. But I think in the Champions League as well, he can prove himself that, you know what, he's still got it. I think he's still got another 5 years at the level. I know he's 30, but listen, players are going on for longer now than expected. And I think he's kind of almost like natural athleticism. I think he's just naturally fit. I think he's naturally strong. I think he could go for another 5 years at his peak. So let's see, man. Let's see. But you know what? Massive respect. I've got not a bad word to say about Mane. I really don't. Other players maybe get gassed a bit too much, like Henderson. But Mane, nah. For me, brilliant player.
We were doing so well.
Quasi, listen, we always have to come to an end of an era.
That's true.
So for the last couple of seasons, we've been saying, 1 second, sorry. Yeah, we've been saying, we need to evolve. We need to get new strikers, we need to find replacements. It's always hard when one of the legends goes suddenly, because we speak about it. We speak about it. We need more. We need this. We need that. But when it's about to happen, we kind of just freeze and we kind of just get a bit sad and we don't want them to go. There has to come to an ending, right? There has to be an ending. Now that there is an ending, if you think about it, we have Diaz, Jota, and now Nunes. I'd say quietly, not without too much. Okay, the Nunes has been big hoo-ha, 85 million, whatever, yeah?
Yeah, that's just media.
How confident are you that we can keep going and progressing or at least operating at the same level with these guys now?
I've on my WhatsApp chats, I always tell people, everybody, you're losing money, you're going to lose Salah. I'm like, guys, the only person that is the most important person in Liverpool right now is Jurgen.
Yep.
When you have Jurgen, there's hope.
Yeah, the rest you can relax and you're in good hands.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The year that we won the Premiership, you guys know that we didn't buy anybody. We went from a championship, being a Champions League champion, and everybody was like, we better get Koulibaly. We better get this guy. We better get this guy. Club was like, no, we got bills to pay. Trust me, I lost my mind. My boy is on the chat right now. He knew we were chatting earlier. I lost my mind, but
we all did. I must admit as well. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting here, right, and people call me an FSG apologist, which is rubbish. Because I criticize them when I have to criticize them. Don't smile, Saeed, because you one of the ones.
No, I'm not saying anything.
Don't smile, because you're one of those ones that kills me about this, yeah. But I used to.
No, I asked you your
them.
opinion about FSG. I thought you were on the fence with them. That's all it was.
I am on the fence with them because that's the best way to be. Because you have to judge them on their actions. You have to judge them on their results.
See, I think
we were nothing. We were nobodies when they came in. Now I want them to do more. I want them to, but I'm seeing them do more. I've just told you we've just spent close to 200 million in the last 3-4 windows. But nobody going to speak on that. People just want more and more and more. Yet sometimes they don't sit and relax and think, does Jurgen Klopp want more and more and more? So if you're going to blame FSG, blame Klopp as well, because he's an enabler then.
Do you think if it doesn't make sense, are you trying to say we shouldn't buy just a player randomly? Because that's what other clubs have been doing.
We don't do that shit. Who's the best example? Who's the best examples of that shit?
Yeah.
Right there, right there.
Yeah.
So we think we plan, and we haven't got the money to just go and make mistakes. How many Pep Guardiola's about to buy another pair of fullbacks? Every season he spends 50 million on a fullback because he can. Now I'm jealous. I'm not bitter. I'm well jealous. But they can do that. We can't operate like that. We have to be smart. We have to be clever.
Yeah.
And I think we have been smart and clever. But look, they're not immune from criticism. They make hella mistakes. They make hella mistakes. Who doesn't? Which ownership doesn't? We was going to come to talk about your one in a little while as well. But Kwazi,
yes,
man,
sir.
You how are you feeling going into the season? We're 2 weeks away from pre-season.
I'm
it's
excited.
So quick. It's come around so quick. How are you feeling?
I'm excited. I told I think last season I said they did us wrong for not letting us win the quad. Because guess what? We are coming again.
Okay.
Are we coming? We coming. Trust me. We losing Sadio. Sadio is a big factor in this. But right now we're moving on to the 2.0 club, right? Club 2.0. And we never know. Salah is still not done yet. But right now, I asked my friend, his name is Tulu, he's in the chat. I told him, I said, which team besides City is going to have 90 points?
Can't see no one else.
If there's another team that could do that, then I'll start worrying. Because now there's 3 of us now. Right? Now there's only 2. City is doing what City does. Yes, they spend the money and it's part of the structure. But we can't just sit there and be complaining, well, we need this, we need that. No, Klopp said, this is what I need. At this point, we need to start trusting Klopp. If you don't trust Klopp right now,
you're lost.
Then I can't.
You're lost. No one can. No, he said it. He said in a press conference about certain players in certain situations. He said, if you don't trust the process, or if you don't trust this player, or my trust the player, or if you don't trust this player, I can't help you. I can't help you. Saeed, you must think, what are these Liverpool fans moaning and complaining about? Bro, I'm telling you, there is sections of Liverpool fan base that are trying to drag the whole club down. I'm telling you, Saeed, they're trying to drag this whole club down.
I think there's an understanding that not every situation is the same, and you know what? They might have feelings in their football club that they well and truly feel like they should speak about it. But when I look at your kind of transfers, like, most of them have been well under the Klopp era. And for me, that's the biggest tell. And you've used and maximized most of the players that you've brought in. And, when I look at the signings that you've made as well over the past, in terms of Klopp, there's not been many bad signings. You would say Karius, but how much was Karius? What, 4 million? Less than that, maybe? So again, you know what I mean? I don't see why there should be complaints. Maybe in terms of when I said to you about the fear of maybe players moving on now, Salah's getting 30, Van Dijk, maybe is there a kind of a feeling that there's going to be another rebuild? I understand that part of it.
But there has to be, though. But that's normal, though. But that has to be.
Yeah, that's normal,
we agree. Yeah. It's scary. Yeah. Do you remember what I said to you? My answer to you was, it is scary. Like, we don't know how the rebuild's going to go.
But, hey, Grizz, let's bring this to in. Today you put out a tweet about City about to lose a couple players.
Nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to talk about that.
Talk while I bring that up. Talk while I bring that up.
City is also in that same mold as we are. They're about to lose some of these guys that have won championship with it. And if those guys go, what makes you think that they could also keep doing what they've been doing? Yes, Pep is a big factor in City. But if they start losing the players that makes Pep's system works, he's also doing the same thing Liverpool's doing. He's realizing I can't score goals like I used to. These teams are getting better and better in defense. So
this is why I said. This is first and foremost, people. I spoke to a Man City guy who confirmed all of this before. Steve, Said, who I spoke to, and I spoke to Big Steve, and I said, "Is this true about these points that I made?" And he said they're all true. Gundogan probably leaving. Jesus, we know, definitely leaving. Bernardo Silva wants to leave. Sterling and Mahrez refusing to sign new deals going into the last year of their contracts and will be sold if suitable offers. Walker, 32 and getting plenty of injuries. Walker's 32. I didn't know that. Yeah. Look at the narrative, though, amongst the fan base and media. Is anybody even thinking about calling the Man City rebuild a rebuild, or focusing on their rebuild, or worrying about their rebuild?
That's a fair point. It's a fair point.
No, I understand the fear that they're going to just spend 200, 300 million on it. I agree with that. But that's why we have to operate differently. We can't match them on their working model. We can't. Nobody can. Only PSG
and Newcastle.
And Newcastle now can. Well, not yet, but Newcastle will eventually.
So
we have. Are the biggest ones, yeah.
So we have to work. We have to work differently. We have to be smart. But nobody wants to know that. Nobody wants to hear that angle of things. It's the narrative for Liverpool is we need to just keep buying. That's all people want to hear. Not let Klopp improve. Let Klopp work his magic, because he's a football coach. Klopp's not a manager, a football coach, and he believes in coaching and making people better. And his record of making players better is fucking good, man. How are you not telling me it's not good?
I'm going to say this. I was going to even ask Brother Said, and I think this is also a question to any Arsenal fan. Liverpool, we gave Klopp time. Arsenal, the only reason why I could see Arsenal not getting to where they need to be is because of their fans. Because they won't allow the process to. It does not take. Top 4 is good to be in top 4, but you have to build to be there. You could get to top 4 this year and lose it next year. And that's something that Klopp didn't want to do for Liverpool, where, okay, I'm in top 4, and then next following year, we are back in 8. Under Brendan Rodgers, that's what we did. So for Manchester United fans, are you guys just trying to get to top 4 and then be like, oh, we're here? Or you want to build that consistency where even if you go top 4th place twice, or 5th place and then 4th place, and then the 3rd year you like, okay, we're still there.
Yeah. I think for me, it's trying to get into that top 4 first. I think solidify that. But then I think to get to that 90-point level, it's consistency after consistency. 2-3 years, maybe even 5 years in a bounce where you get to an 80-point level. Then because we've lost one less game than we've won. And then we've got a goal difference on, I think it's 0, I think it is. So our level for me, I'm just trying to think of first getting the top 4, creating a style of play, and then going from there. You know what I mean? I think there's Romano's just tweeted as well now about Raheem Sterling going to Chelsea. So again, I get what you mean, Grizz. It's one of the situations where.
Oh, what's that about? Hold on, let me bring that up. Sorry, you carry on. Let me bring that up. Go on, carry on.
Yeah, I've just seen it on the top. Yeah, but like I said, it's just to answer your question, brother. It's a level of consistency first. I don't even know if United. I think Man United must have. I don't think they did once 3 games in a row. Let me know. I think it must have been the first 3 games we won 3 games in a row. Apart from that, we never won 3 games in a row.
Right.
A mark of a great team is to be consistent and go on a run. And for me, we're not even doing that, brother. So I genuinely can't put a time scale of when we can do that. Because right now it's just getting to the top 4 and that's it.
Yeah. Because the funny thing with Liverpool fans now is like we could pinpoint the game or the match that cost us the championship, right? The match against Brighton. If we win that game, we win. We win the league. Brentford, we win. If we win that game, we win the league. So consistency. Now you could even see that Liverpool fans where every time we play, we are all kind of paranoid. Even though we know we're going to win, but we know if we lose 1 point, it came a time where we could not even drop a point.
It's like that. It likes that. The margins of error are so small. But Quasi,
yes,
my whole studio is full now.
Oh, I know. Thank you so much.
Today you was
I'm
early.
a celebrity now, people. Please
listen. You're a celebrity full time, full stop. It doesn't matter if you come on my channel or not. You are
Thank
a hero.
You so much,
you're a lovely man, and you're a legend. Everybody needs to go and follow your channel, Quasi Bowl TV. Check it out, man.
Nice to meet you, bro. By the way, nice to meet you.
I'll keep following you, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate you guys.
It, man.
Take care, my brother. Look after yourself. Look after yourself.
Take care.
All right.
Let me read out this super chat, Saeed. Little Man. Love that name. Is that the original Little Man? You know, there's a famous Little Man, isn't it? You know about him, innit?
Yeah, I've met him. I met him. Yeah.
My brothers, my younger brothers know Little Man. So if that's the original Little Man, shout out. But I don't know what that is. Grizz, that's a bit disingenuous to Klopp. He's always said there is enough room for world-class players. FSG haven't backed that man fully. Little Man, show me, prove to me where they haven't backed him. Just show me, prove to me how and where they haven't backed him. Because from what I can see, the only time from what I can tell and from what we can tell, no, I won't say we, I'll only speak for me because I hate speaking for we. The only time I can tell that he didn't get probably what he wanted, in fact, he did end up getting what he wanted, was in the COVID January window when we had about 5-6 injuries around the centre-back area. And he wasn't able to get his first choice, which was Ibrahima Konate. And he didn't want anyone else. But just for the sake of it, we bought Kabak and the other brother, I don't even know his name. That's how much irrelevant he was. Davis or something, wasn't it? That's the only time in his time that I think, in my opinion, he hasn't been backed. Apart from that, what Jurgen Klopp, because you got to remember, little man, Jurgen Klopp is not no Arteta, he's not no Tuchel, he's not no, what's that, Graham Potter. This guy is one of the best coaches in world football, one of the best managers in world football. He signed 3 contracts with FSG. The first one to join Liverpool. And when he joined Liverpool, he was told, this is how we operate, Mr. Klopp. And he said, you know what, FSG, I like the way you've planned this. I'll join. So he joined Liverpool knowing how they operate. Then he signed an extension to that deal where they said, Mr. Klopp, we will still carry on operating under the model that we believe in. He signed that contract. And now he signed another contract, which suggests to me, and maybe I'm a hella dumb, maybe I'm very thick, but to me, when you sign 3 deals and contracts with the people that you're going to be working with, surely you know how they operate and how they believe in working. And you agreeing to working like that under the restraints, if they're restraints, under the funds, if they're funds or limited budget, or however you want to put it. Surely a man of Jurgen Klopp's caliber doesn't sign 3 extensions or 3 contracts, different contracts every single time if he's unhappy with the way his bosses are dealing with him. Saeed, as a Man United fan, what do you think of that?
No, I think you're right. I think for me, I think the Klopp situation with me, I think he works within his means. I think he believes he's a good manager as well. I think there's certain managers that don't really kind of believe in their hype, and I think, kind of transfers make them feel like they have to compensate for their kind of tactical element. But I think Klopp knows what he's doing. I know there's a plan, and everything has made sense. Okay, would like to have got more trophies, but I think for me, I kind of agree with you in that sense. But like I said, I find it baffling with the whole FSG and Klopp, because you've not made bad signings, like especially in the Klopp era. I get before his era, oh totally, you made bad signings, but in the Klopp era, I looked at your guys and not many have been bad signings. So I don't know. Maybe it's the fan base. They do have that hunger and they want to catch City that bad because they know there's no competitors now at the minute, and this is their best ever chance to do so. You know.
But what's the best way of doing that though? Like, is the best way to just every time there's an issue or problem, just throw money at it and buy,
No,
or
you can't do that, Grizz.
or do you try to wait for the person that you want, and also at the same time believe in the players that you're progressing, like Curtis Jones, like Elliott? Not everyone's cup of tea. I don't particularly think one of them will have a long career at Liverpool. It's a hot take, whatever. But I'm in no position to think of that as a definitive opinion because I don't know a core of the things Jurgen Klopp does about his players and his team and his coaching. So I can just give an opinion and say, I'm open to change and not rant and rave about it. That's the least, our club expects of us as supporters, right?
I think for me, it all comes down to expectation. And I think, Liverpool fans are very, very hungry now to get more trophies.
No, I get that. Who's not, man? 100%.
I know. But again, for me, it's finding that right balance because I know as a football club, you can get it wrong. And when you want it so badly, you'll do anything to do it. And that's what we've done. By any means necessary. And you've seen it with Richard Arnold today. He's come out and said, in the past, we've done it wrong. So that's why we're not kind of going in and
that
just
route.
buying any player by any means necessary. We're going to do it now, and we're not going to be kind of dictated to. Which on the hand is okay, but you've also got to be a good negotiator. Liverpool are good negotiators. They get their deal, they get their man, and most of the time they get it within reason. I mean, that Van Dijk for 75 million looks a snip. Alisson looks a snip. Diaz now, it looks a snip. You know what I mean? He's a very, very good player. So I think for me, I get the frustration, but I also think Liverpool, man, they have made shrewd signings, man. Shrewd signings. And if they get Bellingham for about 70, 80 million next summer, that's another player to get for another 10 years. So I think it's just having that kind of patience, isn't it? But again, we're living in a day and era now, Grizz, man, where people are not patient, man. They're not patient.
Not patient.
It's a reactionary fan base, man.
I'm gonna bring in another Liverpool fan, Aki, who's been on the show before as well. Let me just bring.
I'm gonna get off Grizz, though, but big up to you, man.
You out, yeah?
Yeah. I've got to go out now, man. But big up to you, man.
Saturday night, innit? Of course. I know you ain't sticking
Saturday night, man. Man.
Handle your business, man.
Yeah, man. Love, man. But big up to you, Grizz, man.
All right, take care. I'm gonna bring up Aki here. There we go. Yes, my brother. How are you?
Great, Grizz. How are you, mate?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. As I said to Kwasi and who was the other guy before? I can't remember. Sorry, but a little bit sad this week. Obviously, on top of the ending to the season, and then we've had the little bit of jubilation in the middle with Núñez signing. So yeah, I'm a little bit sad with the Sadio Mane news. But forget about me. How are you? Talk to me. What you want to talk about? All about you today, bro.
Well, I think going back to that week when we lost the league, and then I remember we got on a call just in between the Champions League game, or I think it might have been before the last game. Yeah, it was before the last game because I told you I'm going to the match.
Yeah.
And obviously losing the Champions League and then hearing that Mane's going to leave, I think that's probably the worst week in my life. I mean, I've never experienced the worst week in my entire 38, 39 years of being.
Really?
I swear to God, it was the worst week in my life. Honestly, I might be exaggerating, but I
was gonna bring you back to the week we got knocked out by Chesterfield in the FA Cup under Roy Hodgson, and then we lost to. I can't remember now. On the weekend as well, we lost the league in so we lost 2 games in the weekend. Worst, which put us into, I think, just above the relegation zone. Worst week than that.
Yeah, but listen, I mean, there weren't any expectations then, Grizz, were there? I mean, our team was like bang average, if not below average. And, I remember the last conversation we had, I was talking about the fact that it's just a shame of, having a team with such, big players, one of the best managers arguably in the world, and being on the journey that we've been on and not to kind of show anything for it other than, the 2 domestic cups. It's just a shame. And it's that expectation, And the fact that it was within our grasp, I mean, obviously the league was kind of out of our grasp. We needed City to draw it. Obviously they were close, but when they pulled that one back, I just knew they were going to come back and eventually win. But I had high hopes of the Champions League. I was there. I got a ticket. I remember I'm telling you, I was going to Paris.
Oh, you should have messaged me, man. I was there as well. We could have met up.
Yeah, I was in the fan zone, but then I got a ticket last minute. I mean, it cost me an arm and a leg, but I was there, and oh my God, honestly, it was probably the worst week of my life. And then hearing that Manny is going to leave, and now obviously it's official. I was fearing it, I was fearing it all along that either him or Salah were going to leave. But just looking on the bright side of things, Nunes coming in, I do think he's a huge prospect. I still think he's a work in progress.
What do you think about him? Is what's bugging you? The price? That's what's bugging me. But it shouldn't bug me, because I can't be a hypocrite, because in the past I've said I don't care about price. I just care about improving the team. So very quickly, even though I said it's not about my opinions today, it's all about the callers' opinions. But my opinion is I'm equally as excited about Carvalho, that's cost 5 million, as I am with an 85 million. Because to me, it doesn't matter about the price. I look at the player. I love Carvalho. I'm so excited. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. I wasn't overly excited about Nunes, but the more I'm watching him, the more I'm studying him, the more I speak to people that watched him on a regular basis, I kind of getting excited about it. He's giving me a bit of Torres vibes, bro. He's giving me a little bit of Torres vibes. Over to you.
No, I agree totally. He gives me the same. It was, I think, what's his name? Tarabat, who's obviously at Benfica, and he played at Fulham on Talk Sport the other week, and he was saying he's kind of a hybrid between Suarez and Cavani, I think he said. So if that's anything to go by, then obviously it's a promising talent. But listen, with regards to the price tag, I don't care what the media say. I don't care what the rivals say and what have you. At the end of the day, it's 64 million as far as I'm concerned, and then 20 million add-ons. So it's not about the price tag for me. It's about the price. What's that price tag going to do to him individually? The pressure on him. Being a 22-year-old, obviously, it's kind of a lot. Carrying that price tag on your shoulder. But at the same time, he's Uruguayan, he's South American. He's got that fighting spirit, and you need to look at the path he's taken to where he is today. The fact that, he came from Uruguay, playing at Penarol, and then obviously going to the second division in Spain, and then moving on to Benfica. So that journey, and, with South Americans, it's kind of a humble upbringing, and it's kind of they go through a lot, and it's all about pressure and challenges, and I don't think it will phase him being in the Premier League. He's 6'2", 6'3", so the physical side isn't gonna kind of phase him.
He looked a bit. I liked his arrogance, confidence when we played him over the 2 games. Even though he was up against Konate and Virgil van Dijk, he wasn't scared of the challenge. Did you notice that as well?
He's fearless. But that's what you get with South Americans, That's what you get with, we had a certain Uruguayan striker in the past, and Luis Suarez, and we know what he was all about, kind of that fighting spirit, that rebellion, and, going that extra mile. And it's the same with Nunes. And the fact that, we have him on a 6-year deal, so we'll take him up to he's 28 or something. So I think, the best years are ahead of him, but, I don't want to build my hopes up too much. I do work in progress. But, this comes on to my kind of next question, that if we were to look at this, let's say prior to the Nunes signing, from a Liverpool perspective, what was your priority signing in terms of players? Would it have been a striker, or would it have been a midfielder for you?
For me,
right back.
For me, 100% a midfielder.
So that's kind of my question now. So are we now content with what we've brought in? I know we've brought in Carvalho. I know we've got in Ramsey as a kind of alternative, or as a undertaking for Arnold, and then the striker. I just think in terms of midfield, and our midfield is a bit aging now with Henderson. I don't think he's going to play a lot of games. He's not going to be a starter a lot of the time. Thiago, injury prone. Keita, injury prone. I just fear for our midfield, to be honest. I mean, it could mean maybe a change of formation. He could, play 10 and, I don't know, Elliot or Carvalho or what have you. But I just think in terms of midfield, an athletic midfield who can really run with the ball, which we expected with Keita, is paramount. I think if we really want to compete with City next season and go that extra step, we really need to bring in a midfielder. I don't know if that's us done in the signings because, looking at it from a, holistic point of view, you kind of think, okay, we brought in Nunes, we brought in Carvalho, but Mane's left. And Mane isn't any player, as you mentioned. He is my favourite player. He will go down as a Liverpool legend. Are we technically better off now than we were last season? That's kind of the question. For me, I'm not so sure. With kind of Mane going out and Mane not being, any ordinary average player, the impact he's had in the second half of the season, if it wasn't for Mane, we wouldn't have won the majority of those games. And he comes clutch in the big games, that. So my question is, are we technically better now? I'm not so sure. Unless we bring in another midfielder, then I can't really say we're better equipped than we were, prior to Mane leaving. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I do. It's good. It's good points you raised. And, I didn't want to talk too much on this because we've got a fantastic show lined up tomorrow. Show lined up tomorrow at 9 p.m. Make sure you guys check out the RedFellas podcast tomorrow where we're going to tackle these very questions Aki's asked me over a whole show. So, look, as a fan base, you can't ever say one individual wants this club to do more than another fan, right?
Absolutely.
You can't say, oh, I want our success and I want it now. I can say, of course, I want my success and I want it now as well. I want the best for Liverpool. Fucking hell, what do I want? The worst for Liverpool? Right? So every fan has his levels of patience, levels of trust, levels of it just comes down to patience, I guess, and views of how we should move forward and how we perceive things. You mentioned Carvalho and Nunes in, and you mentioned Sadio Mane out. What was your views on Sadio Mane at the start of the season and in the COVID season? I'm going to give you my views. My views at the time, and people highlighted it out throughout the season when I said Sadio Mane, in my humble opinion, we've seen the best of. We were never going to see the Sadio Mane that we've come accustomed to in the previous seasons. That was my opinion at the time during the COVID season. Sadio Mane up to Christmas, again, in my humble opinion, wasn't great.
True.
And there was a lot of the fan base saying, oh, Mane's lost that edge. Mane's lost that burst of speed. It became more apparent and came to light when in January we brought in a player that you haven't mentioned. Not that you didn't mean to and you're trying to be, I just think it slipped your mind.
Yeah.
We brought Luis Diaz in January that we were supposed to buy in the summer. So therefore the plan changed. We bought Luis Diaz and he put in a few performances that made us think, oh, this was Mane in his heyday. This was Mane when he first came. The unpredictability, the burst of pace, the X factor.
Yeah.
But then what happened was we put Sadio Mane through the middle. And Sadio Mane, at that time, I believe, knew he was leaving. Even by then. Because we had told his agent that we're going to be offering a deal. We're going to be talking at the end of the season. But he had already told us, I'm not interested. I want a new challenge. Whether that served as motivation for Mane to show everyone I ain't finished, whether that was as a result of his positional change, we don't know for a fact. We just know Sadio Mane became revitalized in that last 2-3 months.
But Grizz, sorry to interrupt. Did you believe, like deep down, that are you convinced that Mane wanted to leave because he wanted the new challenge? Because I have a different perspective on this, to be honest.
Combination. Of course, if we paid him what he wanted, he would stayed. Probably. I don't know for fact, but probably if we paid him, he wanted to become, one of the highest paid players in the team squad. Probably he would have stayed. Probably, we don't know. No one knows for a fact, but we can speculate, and some can speculate on sort of more insight than others. I'd like to think he would have stayed, probably. But I also agree. But go on, you was going to say, because you're going to come with a different angle on that. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it has to do with the salary. Maybe if he was offered the 400, grand that was kind of arguably, being thrown about. But I just think as well, in terms of money, and by the way, in terms of within our fan base as well, this is the case, although maybe just a small section of our fan base, is that I just feel Mane's always been underappreciated. This guy, I mean, he's such a selfless, he's such a down-to-earth, modest guy. And I just think the whole Salah situation, whether it be from our fan base or the outside, all the kind of the spotlight was under Salah, and all the attention, all the kind of the salary negotiations and what have you were all about Salah, and Mane was just kind of not thrown under the bus, but it was kind of put on the side, like on the back burner kind of thing. And I just think personally he just felt underappreciated, and he just felt if Salah's going to continue, obviously me in the same team and what have you, then this just could cause more strife. And the best thing for me to do was just hang in my boots and just kind of call it a day, and just come out with that kind of pretense that I'm looking for a new challenge. I just think personally, deep down, Mane just felt underappreciated by maybe from our fan base and from obviously the board and what have you. But
if that's the case, and it sounds feasible, it sounds reasonable. If that's the case, if that was the case, what do you think the solution should have been? If that is the case, so if a player does feel underappreciated, and I think I agree with you that he was definitely underappreciated, definitely undervalued. But like in any form of business, I don't know what you do, but I used to have my own fast food outlets, right? And so if you can get away with paying someone different from paying someone else, you try to get away with it as much as you can, right? Until they come knocking on your door, and then you have a business decision to make.
Mm-hmm.
So if Sadio felt underappreciated, if he felt like that, he's got an agent. He knows what players talk. He knows what people are speaking about. People are on. He knows what Verge is on. He knows what Milner's on, Henderson on. Yeah. Surely the correct method or way is going to your agent and saying, go to knock on the people's door and say, talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's such a beautiful human, humble being that he didn't feel the need to do that.
Exactly.
But that means that's your fault, or whatever you want to call it. You should have done it that way. Yeah. There's no point at the end of the contract saying, okay, thank you very much. Now that I'm 30, 31, now that I've been here, now I want this much, because now is a totally different story. Now you're not in your prime, in your peak. You're not performing at your best. The best years are beyond you. We have a business. I'm talking like I'm fucking FSG, but you know where I'm coming from. Now FSG have a different decision to make, as opposed to 2 years ago. They would have had a different decision to make. There would have been far more scrutiny on FSG, far more criticism if they didn't appease him then, in my opinion. Yeah. Now is different. So now it's up to him whether he accepts a different wage packet or a increase in wage, or he wants a new challenge. So I don't know. That's just the way I look at it right now.
No, I mean, I think, so there are speculation out there. I mean, we can come out with a lot of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Where and whether it was the fact that it was underappreciated or the fact that he did honestly want a new challenge. But nevertheless, he'll always go down as a kind of Liverpool legend.
Without doubt, an absolute icon.
Absolutely, and I really wish him the best. And I'll always kind of support him. I'll watch the buying games, and I wish him the best. Other than the fact that if they come up against us, obviously. but you know, he is a legend.
How long will you remain sad and down? Because I still think you're a bit down and sad. When will you get, like, did the Nunes signing a little bit think to yourself, okay, now we've suddenly pretty much under the radar, we've pretty much under the radar, because I wanted to speak about this tomorrow, but we can touch upon it because you've raised some amazing points today. But pretty much under the radar, we've got a brand new strike force plus Bobby and Salah. 3 brand new strike force plus Bobby and Salah still at the club. Does that not a little bit excite you looking forward? It does, you know, I don't know. I'll give my opinion. What do you think?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. When the rumours started kind of coming through, and, you know, when things started becoming more official and you get the, you know, the here we go and all that Fabrizio stuff, you know, I did really feel kind of, you know, looking forward to this signing and really kind of upbeat, because, you know, as I just mentioned, that was a miserable week we had. And then
it was.
And leaving and what have you, we needed a silver lining from somewhere. We needed some positive news just to kind of, you know, improve morale slightly. But yeah, when that kind of came through official, I was, you know, ecstatic, to be honest, because those 2 games he played against us, I'll be honest, I didn't watch him much before then. Those were the kind of the games where he really came to light, and I saw him for the first time. Obviously, I've seen a lot of compilation videos on YouTube and whatnot. But to be honest, if going back to my point earlier when I was talking about priority signings, don't get me wrong, a striker was also paramount as well. A natural number 9, target man, because, you know, the last time we had a target man was Suarez, arguably, but he was also not kind of a natural man.
Not really, yeah.
Yeah, we could probably go back as far as maybe Torres and what have you. So I definitely, Origi, I mean, yeah, he can be, another legend can be kind of noted as someone that is a target. But I just think in terms of low block teams, in terms of even that final against Madrid, other games, you know, during the season, we really needed a target man, especially when certain teams have kind of sussed us out and, you know, playing that kind of low block. We needed a target man, especially with those crosses coming in left, right and centre from Trent and Robbo and what have you to you know, to Mane, who's 5'8" or 5'9", and Jota, who isn't quite so tall either, but I mean, he does have a good leap. But honestly, we really needed that target man. And, you know, with Nunes, I don't think you just get that kind of physical presence. He's rapid. I mean, for his size, he's 6'2", 6'3". I remember he was coming up against Khanage, and he managed to keep up with Khanage. And that's some doing. So he does have kind of that raw pace, which is really good. And he can play, you know, with back to the defense, back to goal, and he can also obviously go in behind. He likes to drift in from the left as well. And that's kind of begs my next question as well, right? With Nunes and kind of the formation and how you see it moving forward. Obviously, he's going to be the lineup, or the formation is going to be, you know, Diaz, Nunes and Salah on the right. But with Diaz kind of coming in from behind and playing between the lines, and obviously coming in from the left as well, don't you think that's going to isolate the right-hand side as well with Salah and then Trent and what have you? Do you think, you know, Klopp's got something under his sleeve with regards to kind of formation tactics, what have you? Because I just feel it's going to be very isolated on that right-hand side, especially with Diaz as well. And when he came in, we started to see that more often. We were playing down that left-hand side more than, you know, that right-hand side. And now with Nunes, another addition, he tends to do the same thing. So that is kind of where I maybe am looking too much into this, but
it's good. It's good to look into it. This just shows you that you think beyond sort of just, you know, turning up and watching your team. You know, you're trying to find solutions, and if you're trying to find solutions,
imagine what they're.
Thank you very much. This is what I was going to say. You best know that Pep Linders and Klopp are studying every aspect. And I said today, I was doing the same. I tweeted earlier today that I was rewatching Brighton versus Liverpool, the 2-2, and how well we started and how dysfunctional we ended up. And these kind of things Jurgen Klopp, Pep Linders, what they've shown us, Aki, in the last 5-6 years is every year we've changed, slight changes, slight tweaks to the way we play, the way the offside line, the way we press, the way our attackers attack, the formation changes, the difference in the way our fullbacks play. You know, the most recent being Trent doesn't overlap anymore. Trent comes in as a number 8. And this is why I'm harping on about panicking without any evidence or justification right now.
Yeah.
Because despite the despondency and the way it ended, which was sad, don't get me wrong, I was sad as you, bro. That journey back again.
That was the longest journey in my entire life.
Of course. But the margins, you was at the game. That save that he made from Sadio Mane was unbelievable save. That save he made from Salah in the last 10 minutes, was it? Do you remember when he was on his right foot when he made that save and he went over the bar? Unbelievable save.
Similar to the City goal, wasn't it?
Exactly that. When Ederson didn't see it, this blinding goalkeeper, Courtois, who's one of the great goalkeepers of recent times, had to put in a man of the match performance from stop us winning the Champions League. So what I mean by that is, these are not excuses. These are facts. These are statements of fact. Who won the man of the match in the Champions League? Was it Kroos? Was it Benzema? Was it fucking left, right, center? It was the keeper. It was Courtois. Why was he given man of the match? Because experts in the field, thought he was the difference between Liverpool winning and Real Madrid winning. So my point being is, we can't be that despondent from being 15 minutes away from winning everything, because 15 minutes and a goalkeeping performance of man of the match levels, from suddenly saying, I can't see us challenging, I can't see us being any good, I can't see us being worse, I can see us being worse off. I don't think like that. I don't see it like that, and I genuinely mean that. I'm not being a positive geezer just because of delusional reasons, or I think it's going to make me more popular on social media, because actually negativity sells.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I'm telling you, who are the biggest promoters of negativity? Arsenal fans. Look at their fan media channels, flying. So I'm not here to win. I'm not here to be delusional and say, I can't see us. We're worse off. People in the chat are saying, Grizz, admit it. Admit what? Why are you trying to admit what, that we're in a worse position? So there's one geezer I was going to bring his comment up, but it's gone down now. Admit it that FSG are holding us back and they're crap owners. If you think that, that's fine, bro. I can't change. I'm not here to change your opinion. I'm here to give my opinion and speak to people about their opinions. Like you've been down, and I've understood and respect your opinion. And that's what it's about. That's all we can do as fans.
No, but don't get me wrong. I think it was misinterpreted. When I said kind of looking at it and seeing whether we're better or worse, I didn't say we're worse off. I'm just...
No. That guy was saying... Yeah. That guy was saying we're worse.
Yeah, I'm just begging the question whether we are technically better or not. I mean, we could be at par. We could be slightly better.
You have every right to, and you're right to ask that question as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You're absolutely spot on, because we're losing Sadio Mane.
Yeah, exactly.
We're losing Sadio Mane. We're not losing. And again, this is all due respect to Gini Wijnaldum, who was a wonderful servant for us. But Gini Wijnaldum, again, I'd like to think I was right in my opinion at the time that I'm okay with Gini Wijnaldum going, and so was FSG, right? And okay, his time at PSG is maybe through other reasons or whatever, but I genuinely think it was the right time to let Gini Wijnaldum go. With Diaz, so the thing is, again, you forgot as well. That's why I had to bring it back. I didn't want to bring Diaz back just to chop up your opinion, right? What I meant was, again, but this is what the fans are. Sometimes fans are like, we forget. Replacing Diaz and Nunes with Mane. Replacing Diaz, Carvalho and Nunes with Origi and Mane, in my opinion, doesn't weaken us.
No.
That's the way I look at it, Aki.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just kind of, because they're unproven. No, not obviously not Diaz. I mean, Diaz.
No, but they are. No, I agree with you. They are unproven. No, let's just say they are unproven. Let's just say they are. Because the fact of the matter is they are. Right? Mane was there for us, right. So we know. Yeah. He was certified, wasn't he? Yeah. Even though I think we had seen the best of him, even though this renaissance of the last few months, I still adamant and believe that we'd seen the best of him, right? So for me, a Diaz, a young, sought-after striker in Nunes and Carvalho is better than Origi and Mane, in my opinion, right? I'm not. It's okay. It might not be better. Sorry, I'll take that back. I don't think we're worse off.
No,
I don't think we're worse off. And again, when we bought Jota, when we bought the aforementioned Sadio Mane, when we bought Mohamed Salah, I guarantee you, if me and you were having this chat, we would have said Sadio Mane from Southampton. I'm not sure, Aki, 35 million.
Before he joined, I'm not just saying that, but I was so keen of getting it over the line with Mane. Same with Van Dijk, to be honest.
No, Van Dijk we knew.
Yeah.
But the fan base, from what I remember, was definitely Sadio Mane.
The same with Salah, though. When he came in, everyone, a lot of people were questioning and raising eyebrows. Really, is he worth it? 38 million.
Well, this is my point now. We're at the same stage now, right? We're asking for the evolution of the Liverpool 2.0 under Klopp, because we all agree we need some form of rebuild here. Yet we've got three relatively unproven forwards now. Actually, Jota, I think for me, has been harshly criticized, because Jota, I think, will improve, and it's got a lot of scope to improve. He scored 20 goals, man. Fucking hell, he scored 20 goals.
Come out of him. I think that took that impetus a bit away from him after he had that injury. He wasn't the same again after that injury. But, I have no qualms with Jota. I think,
But where I'm looking at this, Aki, is, for me, we're at that similar stage, or not stage, we're at a different stage, but we're in a similar position where we've got three forwards that are. So Bobby, you got to remember, was unproven through the middle, as our false nine. True. Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane. We're trying to form a new strike force. Of course, Bobby and Salah are still here for at least one more season, but we've added three forwards that we're hoping are going to be as equally as potent, as equally as glorious as the famous three will be. And the evidence suggests, Aki, our recruitment plus Klopp and Pep Linders and coaches know what they're doing.
No, I mean...
The only thing I say...
Yeah, no, listen.
I don't sit here with a crystal ball and say, shut up, man, we've smashed it, they're done. It's a done that these guys are going to be the next best thing since Bobby, Salah and Mo. Sadio and Mo. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
We can only go by evidence, proof of previous examples of their coaching and dealings in the transfer market.
I can't question the scouting, the scouting that we have. I can't question Julian Ward or Edwards before him. I can't question Klopp. I can't question the backroom staff. I have full trust in that, all the signings that we've had today under the Klopp era, we've kind of got spot on. The odd one or two probably that we didn't. But, I mean, perfect example is Nunes. I was reading an article the other day that we were scouting him from 2015 when he was playing at Penarol in Uruguay. So that just goes to show how much our kind of scouting system and how, we scrutinize kind of everything before, making that decision. And people might just think, we've just woken up to the fact that there's a player called Nunes, or when he played against us in the Champions League. But no, we're always a step ahead of the game. And this is what fan base needs to understand, that we have experts, we have people with the analytics, we have people that are working day in, day out to kind of get the best talent, or even raw talent, and then make them the superstars that we have done, in the club with the likes.
But even that, Aki, I agree with everything that you said. But even that, the one thing that we always overlook, and it's such an oversight in some cases, is that our coach that we claim is the greatest coach in my lifetime, definitely, of Liverpool Football Club, is the one-man catalyst for everything, believes in his philosophy, in his coaching, believes in the way he throws money at transfers, who he buys and how he buys them, believes in the whole structure that has been put in place by the owners. So forget what me thinks or you thinks or people in the chat think or people on Twitter thinks. We can have all our opinions, and by all means have your opinions. But the man who counts is Jurgen Klopp.
Really?
And he wants to, for example, he wants to do it his way. He believes in coaching. He doesn't believe in throwing money at curing and fixing problems all the time. All the time. Now, we can say, yeah, but that's too stubborn of him. And I sometimes have levied that accusation at Jurgen Klopp of being slightly stubborn. But who's perfect?
No. I mean,
this manager's perfect.
No, absolutely. I mean, we're not City at the end of the day. You know, we're not. We can't.
You can afford to make mistakes, man. How many fullbacks have we seen them sign? Yet they're signing another couple of fullbacks, £50 million each. And people say, yeah, but we can't do it.
No,
Get fucking real.
And listen, I'm all for kind of organic growth. I don't like I won't say I don't like, but I just I love the challenge, you know. I love the fact that we get raw talent and then we kind of make them into superstars instead of getting a kind of everything on a silver plate and then, you know, going wheel talent. It just feels so much better when you get unproven maybe talents like the likes of Nunes, like the likes of Mane back in the day, and Firmino and Salah.
It's glorious. It's glorious the way we do it. It's glorious.
And kind of go back, you know, in 10 years' time, 20 years' time, hopefully, you know, we win a few more titles, Champions League, leagues. We did this without spending the billions that, you know, City, United, what have you spend, you know. But, you know, just going back to my point, I'm not saying we're worse off. I just wanted to kind of get that, you know, out there. But I just think, I don't know if you have any insider information. And I mean, is that it in terms of signings? Are we not? Because obviously I've heard that in terms of Bellingham, he's not going to go anywhere this summer. It'll probably be next summer if we do go for him. But is that it in terms of incomings for Liverpool, or do you see?
I said very early on that we're after Tchouaméni. And the fact of the matter was it was proven that we were in for Tchouaméni, which suggests that we knew that we need that type of midfielder. So I agree that it's slightly confusing that the local journalists that have obviously been briefed because they came out with it the same day, right? Remember that. People forget that when 3 or 4 journalists come out the same day, it's briefing from a club. Yeah. Now, the club can brief for different reasons. They can brief you for tactical reasons in the transfer market. They may be playing games in the transfer market. They may have deals in place that they're trying to sell their own midfielders for more. We don't know, right?
Yeah.
But to us, it suggests that we knew what we wanted. We were Tchouaméni. We were blown out the market by Madrid. I know I'm telling you now that we had it all agreed with the Tchouaméni. We were literally waiting for his signature, but he wasn't signing, and we were always dubious. Why isn't he signing?
He wanted Madrid all along.
Because he wanted Madrid all along. Yeah. And he knew that there's a chance that they're going to come in. He was very happy to come to Liverpool. He's spoken to Jurgen Klopp, but he told us, you know, and that's it. And sometimes you have to accept that.
No, absolutely.
Just like Thiago only wanted us.
Yeah, we don't want a player to join us if they really don't.
PSG, Man United made humongous bids for Thiago when we wanted him. But Thiago only wanted us. And again, at the time, I was telling people that were saying, oh, Grizz, you're saying we got Thiago. I said, we got Thiago. Reason why is because Thiago wants us. Tchouaméni, I tweeted Tchouaméni, we have a deal agreed with Tchouaméni, but now it's up to Tchouaméni. I said that in my tweet. And the reason why I said it is because he hadn't agreed, whereas Thiago had agreed. Absolutely. And people jump on my head and say, I thought you said Tchouaméni's done.
It's the same with Nunes, though. United offered him more, but he wanted to come to Liverpool. He just basically was attracted with the project at Liverpool, and that's what we want at the end of the day. We want players that really want to kind of, you know, jump on board this project. Now,
it's very clear to see that Jude Bellingham is our prime number 1 target. But unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Dortmund are going to look to move.
No, they're not going to
budge. Unless we make them an offer they can't refuse, which is not like us. which I don't know if we've got the means to. I'd like to think we've got the means to, but if we can, look, this is where I don't understand. This is for the people that think I'm on the fucking payroll of FSG. This is the part where I don't understand, and I'm willing to have a debate, and with this is what we're going to discuss tomorrow. Because if he's our number one target and we don't secure him next season, and we don't replace Mohamed Salah, if Mohamed Salah doesn't sign, obviously we're talking a lot of ifs and buts here, then there will be an uproar, and then they will have to face the criticism and the brunt of the criticism. But I genuinely don't think that's going to happen.
Oh, you honestly believe that we're going to sign him? It's kind of,
I know. No. See, you're going to get me in trouble here. I think Mohamed Salah will extend. Okay. So therefore, I think Jude Bellingham will be our number one prize target for that summer, because we will have had assurances. I know we actively tried or trying to bring him in now, but Dortmund 120 million, if we want to talk now. Pounds.
Yeah.
Pounds. 120 million pounds.
Because he's English.
We're not willing to pay 120 million pounds when we're saying he's worth 80.
Yeah.
So it's hard for us to accept that, because we're just saying, just do it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think they know what they're doing at the end of the day. If that's their number one target, but I just don't want to be in a position where we put all our eggs in one basket. If that doesn't work out, I'm obviously adamant.
I hear you. I hear you.
In there.
No, I hear you. But again, I disagree that we should. I agree that we should be getting a midfielder in. That's why I keep repeating to people as well that say, oh, how can you say you don't want a midfielder? I'm not fucking saying that. I'm saying we need a midfielder. I would, me personally, layman with no experience how to run a football club, recruiting, coaching, nothing. Just a normal fan like you, I think, oh man, you know what, Aki? We need a midfielder, yeah. We need one with pace and power. I'm agreeing with you. What I'm saying is they must have their reasons.
No, yeah.
And on the face of it, their reasons have come to be fruitful for us. Their reasoning has shown fruition. We were very close to fucking completing football. I'm not suddenly going to say we're dead now just because.
No, definitely not.
Do you know what I mean? That's where I'm coming from. But listen, people are messaging like mad. There's so many people that want to come on. Mine and your chat's been absolutely brilliant. I've enjoyed it. Hopefully catch up soon. Nice one.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Keep in touch. Take care, my brother. Look after yourself.
You too. Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna bring in Reedy. Guys, I know there's so many of you in the building looking to come on. I'm gonna try to keep it moving as much as I can, but so many people wanting to come on. It's 1 hour 40 minutes into the stream. There's over 350 of you in here. If you haven't liked the stream, my God, I don't know about you, man. We've tried to put on a show for you today, and we have. I'm going to keep this moving as quickly as I can. I've got Reedy in the building. Reedy, welcome. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I'm very tired because the chat's been amazing. The guests, the callers have been amazing. Talk to me. How are you?
I'm okay after the season we had last season. But obviously going forward, I wanted to ask you, with the statement signings that Man City have made, yes, you're making signings as well with Nunez, Diaz in the January, Carvalho as well. Do you think you'll be stepping back a tiny bit in the levels, whereas City will probably be going higher just because of how, like, the statement signing they made in Haaland? Don't get me wrong, both Diaz and Nunez could be the next superstars that absolutely smash it, but do you reckon it will take a bit of time through this season coming up to get to the levels that you need to be competing with them again?
Tell me your opinion first. So okay, I'm going to give you some facts as opposed to the signings. He said, let me give you some facts first with regards to my club. I don't know if you heard the previous chat I had with the other guy. So we have, in the last couple of months, January was about 4 months ago, we have brought in Luis Diaz, we have brought in Darwin Nunes, fuck's sake, blast from the past, Darwin Nunes and Carvalho, 3 attacking players. Probably 3 of the most sought after attacking players in Europe under the Mbappes and Haalands.
Yeah.
Right? Man City have brought in Haaland and Julian Alvarez. They're on the verge of probably losing Gundogan, Sterling, Jesus. Mahrez wants to leave as well. They've only brought in 2.
Yeah.
And those 4 want to leave or are leaving. Fernandinho, I'm not going to count because he's an old man anyway, he didn't play. So now that I've told you their situation, which is not being talked about, so Mahrez and Sterling are in their last year of contract. If they get offers, they will be sold. Sterling doesn't want to sign a new contract. He's been linked with Chelsea today, very strongly linked with Chelsea. Gabriel Jesus, who in my opinion is a very useful player for them and has been as well. How many times has Gabriel Jesus got them out of jail in games, whatever? Now that I've told you that aspect, now how do you think about the signings and season, and how do you see our signings as compared to wherever the situation is? And be honest as much as you want. It's all about you.
It's a hard one because, like I say, I feel like compared to someone like Haaland for City, I think you've made, don't get me wrong, like you say, they're probably the best you can get under the Mbappe level or Haaland level. But I don't know if they would need time to bed in. Unlike for me, yes, there's a lot of Man City players leaving, but if you've got a pretty much full Man City team anyway with De Bruyne and like all the other players I could think of, I can't remember all of them now, but just adding, without a striker last season, they still competed to get the top to win the league. Now, just including that sort of striker into their levels, I don't know if you have
which levels did they reach that we didn't? So they finished above us in one
no,
point.
Yeah, I get that. Obviously, last season, I think for me coming into this season, obviously you're losing Mane, you're bringing in Diaz. Yes, I think for me he did pretty well to say that he's just come in from the Portuguese league. I just don't know if, because I don't know, it's like adding Nunes in there as well. I don't know if will he have to set the world on fire to still compete to Man City's levels, or do you think?
So when Lukaku signed for Chelsea last season, what did you think? Be honest.
I honestly thought I'd said in my predictions for the league, I thought they were going to be chasing for the top of the league.
Correct, and that's a majority of the fan base. When Man United signed Sancho, Varane, and who's the other guy they signed? Big money, Ronaldo.
Yeah. On
top of finish second. Again, be honest. Where did you think they're going to finish?
I set out the top 4. Yeah, I know what they're like. Like I said, they had Solskjaer, didn't they, before that season? So I thought.
So that's two major clubs that have bought big mega monies. When Grealish signed for Man City for 100 million, a lot of people thought, "Wow, they've gone and nicked probably the best English player about." My point being is none of them set the Premier League alight. None of those signings set that. Ronaldo scored goals, but they finished 7th in the end or something.
Yeah, I think they finished 6th. Yeah.
What guarantees is there that Haaland is going to come in and take the Premier League alight?
Again, yeah, I say, but like Nunes could set the world on fire, and Haaland could get 5 goals a season.
But you get the point.
I know what you mean. I just
so the point is Haaland. Now Alvarez is a total unknown quantity. So many people rave about Alvarez. If they've watched Alvarez, then fair play to them. I haven't seen enough of him to make a conclusive judgment, but I've seen Haaland. Haaland is a wonderful finisher, But playing in this Man City team, especially the way Pep plays, is a total different ball game. Grealish has found that out. It's a technical way of playing. He played in transition at Dortmund. I'm not sitting here writing off Haaland, by the way.
Oh no, I'm not either.
I'm just giving you an alternative opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of people are ready. Again, I'll ask you. I think I did. I don't think any pundit and opposition fan had Liverpool having the season they did last season, the same questions were asked. Oh, don't know if you lot done enough because we only brought Khanage in. You've had a lot of injuries. Gini Wijnaldum's gone. Virgil van Dijk, don't know, Henderson. You got Milner. You got the same strikers getting old. People were predicting us to finish 4th, 5th, maximum 3rd.
I think the difference for me, I think the difference between the players you sign and how you play is down to Klopp. I think that's the difference where you could, even though you haven't got sometimes the levels in the team, Klopp knows how to win them games with, like I say, the players he's got. So if someone like Núñez doesn't perform in a game, he knows that you can bring on someone like Firmino to come on and absolutely change the game. So for me, it's always down to Klopp to win the games that you maybe are struggling, but that's where I see maybe you would still challenge, but again, I still think it would take time for say, like you say, you had 3 new attacking signings. It would take a bit longer to maybe get to the levels that you need to be to compete with Man City.
And if Sterling and Jesus leave, who's their strike force? I'm telling you, their strike force: Grealish, Mahrez, Haaland.
Yeah. Again, it's like
I'm not saying it's bad. Fucking a lot of teams would love that. Foden, De Bruyne in midfield. Oh, Bernardo Silva wants to leave. Very openly, he said he wants to leave. But do you get what I'm saying? Like, people are so ready to jump on Liverpool, and I don't know why. It is what it is.
I just, like I say, my question was more: are you worried about maybe not reaching that level?
Okay, there's always a fear when you're replacing a legend and an icon like Sadio Mane.
Yeah.
No one can 100% say, do you know what? I'm not worried at all. Sadio Mane, we got Núñez, Jota, we still got Bobby, we still got Salah, and we still, we're good. We've got 5 strikers that probably most of Europe would cry for, right? Probably most of Europe would cry for. But when you lose a key man like Sadio Mane, there is a fear. But if you're saying I'm worried, no, I'm not worried. A fear is natural. It's one of the emotions that you should have as a Liverpool, as a fan. Sorry, any fan. You're fearful. There's elements of you that's a lot fearful going into the season. But come kickoff, come first game, come when you're at the stadium, you're going to be buzzing.
Yeah.
You're going to see a couple of new signings. You're going to see your coach. He may not be flavour of the month, whatever. A couple of new signings, and you know what? You're going to be with your mates. You're going to say, you know what? Come on.
We could do them today, yeah.
We can do them today. And me as a Liverpool fan, I'm buzzing off the season that we've had. Buzzing. We came so close to immortality, and people are saying, yeah, but close is not exactly it. Well, yeah, fucking hell, well done, rocket scientist. Of course it ain't. Who doesn't know that? But imagine being us.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Imagine
like say,
being the fan.
For me, if we brought someone like a Núñez in who's from a different league, you'd think, oh my God, like, this could be the next big thing for us. But like I say, I know what you get what you mean. It's just like, say, for me, looking at it, again, just don't even look at maybe Haaland not doing well, but I was just saying that.
No, he might smash it. He might smash it. I agree with you.
I just don't know if the levels that you can bring the players in, again, they could. It's just start bedding in and making sure them players start performing to that level.
You're absolutely spot on. No one can sit here with a crystal ball and say things for certain. No one can, man. That's what we're in this game for. Whether it's pundits on media or whether it's fan media, right? Because that's what we're on. We're on fan media. We're here to give our opinion. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people believe, some people don't. It's not a problem. We're here to just say how it is. You ask me a question. Are you worried? There's always a slight hint of worried. Sorry, are you worried? Did you say, do you fear? Or, I don't know, I can't
do
remember
you fear or worried that you won't get to the levels as Man City, again, depending on how other players perform and all that?
So first and foremost, I think we were on the levels. In fact, I think we done better than them overall in the season. Because we entered 4 competitions, they entered 4 competitions. We won 2 of them, they won 1 of them, and we reached the final of the other. There were 64 games possible. Sorry, We played every game possible last season. Do people know what that means? I don't know. Sometimes people forget what that means. Did you know what that means? We fucking played every single game that we entered. And yet people are looking to beat us up by saying, "Oh, are you going to reach Man City's level again?" Fucking hell, we were on their level in terms of point wise, like 1 point over a 38 game season, 15 minutes away from immortality. A goalkeeping performance of, I don't know if you watched the Champions League final, the saves Courtois made. He was given man of the match for a reason, not for standing around and nothing to do. And we had no shots on target. We had no possession. We had no pressure. You know what? Liverpool bottled it. The keeper performed heroically to stop us. Alisson didn't have a save to make. Really, Alisson didn't have a save to make, but they caught us with a sucker punch, and they're an elite team. That's what happens. Real Madrid are not fucking Fulham, are they? With all respect to Fulham. They might go and beat us on the first day now. Do you know what I mean? This could get clipped up.
Yeah. I know what you mean. And obviously going forward from that then, I mean, just a quick one because obviously Brendan's been at your club as well. He wants to rebuild our team. There's certain players like Youri Tielemans that wants to leave and all that. Do you think he's probably the man to change how this works and how the team goes?
Man, it's difficult. I've been in the past, I think he's got criticized harshly, but it's getting to a point now where I think this is obviously an obvious statement, but I think this is a huge summer and a huge season for Brendan Rodgers, because you're losing Tielemans for sure. It seems. I don't know what the situation with Fofana is. I know a lot of big clubs in for him as well. I don't know how much backing he's going to have in the market, in the transfer market. I don't know what kind of finance.
Especially with no Europe as well. That's the issue.
No Europe, but that could help you guys concentrate on the league again, because you had a lovely, good European campaign. Let's not forget that. But in the league, it was underwhelming. But again, I always look at the overall situation. I always ask Leicester fans, what are your expectations? So I'll ask you again, what's your expectations for the season going into it then, realistically?
Well, with no Europe, I'd be hoping for a top 6. But then again, that's mainly because of not last season, the 2 seasons before, we got pretty much top 4 and then lost on the last day of the season. So for me, is it too much? Am I dreaming to ask for a top 6? I don't know. But again,
what my opinion?
Like I say, the last few seasons we've been struggling with injuries. Main players have been out pretty much throughout the whole seasons. If we had a full fit team, like with Ndidi and every single game, for Fofana back full fit for a whole season, Vardy in, yes, he's getting older, but he still seems to smash it on fire. Maybe we could, but again, what is your opinion on it?
My opinion is, I think your expectations are set too high. Because of the level of investment, because of the injury situation, because of the players leaving you, I don't think you're being realistic in terms of. So we know who the top 2 are going to be.
Yeah.
Then we know realistically who's going to be the next 4 in terms of Chelsea, Spurs, United, and Arsenal. I think you come in the next batch.
I would say so. It's just like I say, that's what I think Rodgers in his how he wants to progress stuff. He wants to be getting to the levels of getting above that little group. Do you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, I don't think we will get there because of the tactics we play and how we try and beat teams. Again, for Rodgers, for me, if Rodgers' tactics don't work in a game, that's it. He's not going to change. He doesn't put a big man up front to try and win ahead in the last minutes. He just keeps it stuck. Same players, brings players on for the same sort of players, Barnes for Lookman or whoever. He doesn't try and change how it works. He literally has it one way, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So again, I don't think we will be able to hit the heights, but from the seasons before last, we are capable of doing it. We just need to stick to it. For me,
I think you're going to have a rough season. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm not going to just be nice to you just because you've come on my show. You know, I love you to bits, but I have to be honest, give my opinion, what I think. I think you're going to have a rough season. I genuinely think that unless something miraculous happens in the transfer market and you manage to get some midfielders in. I think that's where you're going to be lacking the most in your midfield. Yeah, you still got your strikers, your Dakas, your Vardis. I don't know how long Vardy can go, but we've asked that same question for the last 3 seasons and he still keeps coming through. Defensively, apart from Fofana, I worry. Johnny Evans, old. Soyuncu, disaster.
And I mean, there's some star players there, but then, like I say, around them star players, you've really got a bit of a.
I'll tell you where you're
hit
strong.
or miss player.
I'll tell you where you're strong. Your fullbacks could play at a far higher level. No disrespect to you guys, your fullbacks are brilliant. I genuinely
Pereira,
believe
for me,
that.
is probably one of our best players. It's
Absolutely,
ridiculous.
absolutely. So yeah, overall, I think you're going to have a tough season, man. I think dreaming of a top 6 is just setting yourself up for mad disappointment. I think top half finish and then try to regroup and see if he's can rally the troops again.
Okay, I know what you mean with Brendan Rodgers. It's hard because obviously you've had him in the past and you've known it's not worked out. So for me, looking forward, people are saying given the first 10 games next season, but if they're saying given the first 10 games, why are you letting him get a rebuild? There's no point giving him the rebuild if he's going to go before halfway through the season next season. I back Rodgers to do it, but again, if he starts doing it and then he doesn't work, again, a new manager comes in, they might not want any of the players that he's signed. And again, like you say, it could be a rough season. So I get what you mean. And again, I'm guessing I'm looking too high in the table, but it's all about thinking for the best, isn't it?
Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do. Listen, I wish you all the best, man. Hope things are not as gloomy as I've made out. I don't think.
No, it's fine. I know what you mean. Like I say,
You know what I mean?
we're Leicester City. We're not meant to be a top 4 team, are we? But
look, you've had the last 10 years. You guys have had. Wow. Just remember, 95% of teams would love to have. You know, so it's been an amazing ride for you guys. And look, I wish you all the best. Long may it continue, man. I need to keep it moving because I've got so many people still want to chat. I'm struggling to keep getting on. Listen, all the best. Hope to catch up soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, guys. Wow, still 350 of you in here. Please like the stream if you haven't already. I've actually, you guys are tiring me out, but I'm still going. The chat's been amazing. Guys, I've got a membership link in the description. It supports the channel and it enables you to be active in shows like this going forward. So get on that, become a member, become a Grizz Khan Ultra. I'm going to add Bilal to the stream as well now. Bilal, my brother, how are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you nice and clear, bro.
Yeah, nice, man. Hello, man. Lovely to be on. Been wanting to talk to you. Been following your content. So, yeah, been enjoying what you've been doing, especially on the Big Six as well. You've been defending Arsenal, man, better than Turkish. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know how long that's going to last, but we you know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah, maybe Arsenal are coming, man. We'll see. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, just on that Leicester fan, you know, it was giving me I was just going to say, but I don't know, Leicester last season, honestly. The first game we played against them, Arsenal, it was a difficult game. Ramsdale made some great saves and all of that. Second half, Tielemans dominated the midfield. And when I say dominate, I don't know how they didn't score. Absolutely dominated. But watching them throughout the season, man, they really fell off. And when we played them the second time at the Emirates Stadium, I'm telling you, that was one of the easiest games I've seen Arsenal play this season, up there with Norwich away. And I don't know what Brendan Rodgers is doing with Leicester. And it goes in cycles, you know. Leicester, really and truly, as you said as well, top 6 and all of that kind of thing. There, I think it's over. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's over for teams like Leicester, West Ham. I think it's over for them as well. Newcastle are legitimately the only team that can break into the top 6 purely because of the money. And I honestly believe in the next season, I do believe Man City and Liverpool. This is my out here prediction. I really believe Man City and Liverpool are not going to hit the 90 points the way they have been in the last few years. I think this year is going to be seriously competitive. And you're right about Man City. and their team right now, and they're going for a transition. And I don't know why no one's talking about it. I know Liverpool one's obvious with Mane and Salah. Could he leave on a free? Blah blah blah. Nunes, Diaz. But I feel like Liverpool, the midfield is an issue. I think you need two midfielders. If I'm being totally honest, whether you get them or not.
What kind of midfielders would you suggest we need?
First of all, Basuma was that guy. I think for Liverpool, perfect. He was linked with Arsenal for ages, but with Mikel Arteta, I didn't ever see that really happening, if I'm going to be totally honest. Bissouma at Liverpool was legitimately £25 million. I know he's got the case, so if that got resolved and everything, £25 million, that would have been an absolute steal. Perfect for Liverpool, and that would have given you time until Bellingham maybe comes in. Because I do think next season, Liverpool have to be the favourites to sign Jude Bellingham. The Tchouaméni deal, I did say at the time when Tchouaméni ended up going Real Madrid, I feel like Liverpool maybe messed up here. Because I know you can't force a player to sign the contract and force him to join Liverpool. But Real Madrid was so occupied with Mbappe. Tchouaméni was there for quite a while. You could have convinced him. I don't think a player like Tchouaméni can really say no to Liverpool if Real Madrid for that long of a period were not in the picture until after the whole, Mbappe staying at PSG. But really and truly, if it's not Bissouma, I would say, for me, Sangare. I really like this guy. Kessie's already gone to Barcelona, so I think that would have been a good option as well. Sangare at Liverpool, I'm not sure what your thoughts are on him, but when I've watched him play, he has really looked like he's a machine. He could cover that deep defensive midfield position when Fabinho maybe. He's been picking up maybe a few knocks here and there, and he could play that box-to-box role as well. So for me, if Liverpool could sign one player like a Sangare just to cover things until next season, when I think, yes, Bellingham, I feel like Liverpool are going to be patient and spend the big money on Bellingham. Yeah, I think that would be the move, really and truly. Sangare, Bellingham, get them two into your team. Sangare for this season, and it's a World Cup season as well, so there's going to be a break in January. Don't even know how things are going to look really for a lot of teams. The situations could even change. Salah, we don't know what's going to happen in January. So I think the World Cup as well is going to be an interesting time. But yeah, I don't know what were your thoughts on Sangare or a player like that. Wouldn't cost too much money. And I feel like Liverpool will still have the budget to do that without really wages. Everything wouldn't really be a problem. And then next season, yes, you go for that big main Jude Bellingham.
No, listen, you've made some very valid points, and I like the way the players that you've spoken on are pretty much the players that we're interested in and want. So it's come out there that we've won. Is that echo? Have you got?
Is it echo?
Yeah, there's an echo. Let's see if it's gone now. No, it's still coming from your side.
Let me see what's going on here.
Let me see 1 second. Yeah, so yeah, it's definitely from your side because I just muted you and it's gone. Let's see if it's still there. No, it's gone. That's cool. Okay. Yeah, so all those players that you mentioned, so we started with Tchouaméni. Obviously, we made a very bold effort to get him. And you're right, we can't force him. You can't force a player to sign. So, and if he wanted to go to Madrid, fair play to him, man. Certain players have their favorite clubs that they want to go to. And they blew us out of the water with that kind of money and fee and wages and whatever. We're not gonna get into an auction like that. We don't operate like that. People know how we operate. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people respect it, some people don't. It is what it is. That's how we operate. So we were never going to get into a bidding war with Real Madrid.
Yeah.
With the Sangare, I'm not his biggest fan. Bilal, I'm not his biggest fan. I think, but we are interested in him. But I don't think we've looked to pursue that deal. I think he's a very physically imposing central midfielder. He's got some amazing defensive attributes. When people that look into stats told me about some of these stats, apparently they're outstanding. I'm not really into stats. I don't understand them as well as others. But whoever gets him, he's very good for the role of a destroyer. I don't know how he would fit into our team. I'm not sure if he'd be an able deputy to play alongside Fabinho. So therefore, I can understand why we wouldn't pursue that unless we wanted him as a long-term replacement for Fabinho going forward. And with Bellingham, with Bellingham, I firmly believe he will eventually end up a Liverpool player. I just think we have to wait, and we're prepared to wait. And we've shown in the past we're prepared to wait for our targets. Konate, Virgil, just to name a couple. Obviously, we weren't prepared to wait for Diaz because Spurs came in for him and we said, all right, we just need to make a move. So maybe if someone comes in for Bellingham, that may force our hand to make a move for him now.
Yeah.
No, it's only second week of transfer window. So that's where I'm at with the Bellingham. And that's it, man. Apart from that, I agree with you. We need signings in midfield. But I'm not one of these guys. I think if you've been following me for a little while, I'm not one of these guys that starts ranting and raving and making solo videos addressing the footballing nations all across the world, saying, "Yeah, we're dead, we're finished, we need to do this." That's not me. I don't do that. If that's you, no problem. That's fine. People are entitled to do what they want with their platforms and how they want to react. I react to what I know and what I think. And I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be calm. We're a very, very good football team. If people don't know that by now, I don't know what you guys have been watching for the last 10 months or whatever that season was. We were mental. 90. Only Madrid and City can talk to us. Only Madrid and City can talk to us. The rest you're just laughing for your own insecurities. The rest you're just bantering because you're just
only laughing because
you're upset with your own lives.
Couldn't do it. Yeah, they couldn't. The other teams couldn't do it.
Only Madrid and City can talk to us and say, you know what? Sorry, we can say, Madrid, you've just won another Champions League. You own that Champions League. Man City, you've just won another Premier League. You own the Premier League. But my God, we nearly came close to completing football.
Yep.
So close. Every man saw that. Every man, woman, their dog, their cat, their goldfish saw that.
I thought it was going to happen. I thought the quadruple was going to happen. From that situation, which was only literally a month ago or something, for people to start going mental at the owners and the club and the manager, the players and the signings, I find it mental. Yeah.
Others don't. Others agree with it. They think they're putting pressure on the club by doing that. You're not doing shit.
You're
not doing shit. You're just raising your own blood pressure and you're worrying your own family because they're looking at you and thinking, what are you doing? Why are you shouting in a computer screen? What are you doing? Are you mad? Are you stupid? What's wrong with you? I'm about to make you dinner. Come eat your dinner. John Henry ain't listening to you. Jurgen Klopp ain't listening to you.
These guys are doing their own thing, man.
But they're good at it, though. But they're good at it.
They're good. Honestly, there was a time.
If they weren't good at it, then you can sense the frustration.
And that's the key point.
You mans, 100%. I understand when you lot go mad.
Yeah.
Because your team's dead, your club's dead, and has been for the last God knows how long. But for Liverpool fans to be out here doing this, it's attention seeking. Maybe, I don't know. I don't want to accuse people.
If Klopp doesn't complain, and you guys are still challenging the way you've challenged, there's nothing more you can do. I'll keep it real. What more could you have done last season?
If Jurgen Klopp calls out the owners, then we can go and march and protest and say, you know what, bun these owners, man. Jurgen Klopp is asking for this, asking for that. Jurgen Klopp says it in press conference after. You probably don't watch Jurgen press conferences. I do. He says it again and again and again. I'm good. I'm good with these people. I'm good with these owners. I'm good with these players. I believe in these players. He makes it very obvious the ones he's not believing in.
Yeah.
Ox doesn't get a look in. He's not happy. He doesn't believe in Ox. It's obvious and clear. We're probably looking for buyers. But the rest of the ones he believes in, he plays Curtis Jones. He plays Elliott. plays all these mans. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
We need central midfielders.
No, of course, I think it's obvious that I think Klopp would want him.
I agree with you. Yeah, but we don't know what he wants though. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not certified that he wants it right now and he's not willing to wait. Do you get my point?
Exactly. That's the point. I think that's the key point. I think that's even, if you look at even Arsenal's situation with the striker, don't just go and sign. There's a lot of talks about Alexander Isak, 75 million. Why should you waste your money when you could wait for your prime number one target? And Liverpool in a position where you're not desperate. And that's the key.
We're not desperate. And that's the key. And that's the key. Most people think we're not desperate. We don't act like desperados in the transfer market. We don't run like that. That's not how we operate. We're very strategic and structured how we do it. And some people can't handle the being patient side of things, which is natural. We're fans. We want it now. We want the glory in the glory years while Klopp is here. Don't you think he wants that while he's here?
It's weird though, because if you had signed Diaz this window and Núñez at the same time, I'm sure Liverpool fans, like as a whole, would be
not even that. If we signed Núñez and Carvalho and Ramsey in the last week of the window, we'd be going into the season saying, "Yo, we just bought the best player in the championship.
Yeah,
he's bought the most sought after youngster after Haaland and Mbappe, and we just gone and bought a player in the mold of Trent, who's so highly thought of that Dortmund wanted Ramsey." And we know what Dortmund are like in the transfer market. They know what they're buying.
These German clubs right now, they are scouting England in a different sort of way. Like they know the UK in general. They know where the talent is.
100%.
Honestly, Liverpool right now, Carvalho is electric for Fulham. Like legit,
100%.
he is electric. And
I don't know if you've watched him much. What do you think of him?
Yeah, no, I've watched him a few times, and every time the two players I've been most impressed with this season in the Championship is Carvalho and Brendan Johnson. It's come up now.
Are we linked with both?
Yeah, so I'm sure you are. I'm sure like those are two very kind of similar profiles as well. Carvalho maybe could even become a midfielder in the future, but I think even this season you could probably see him in the right sometimes, covering for Salah. He's someone who's versatile, and these sort of players. And that's another point as well, maybe with Mane leaving now. And I don't know who you would have preferred to leave if you had a choice, Mane or Salah, because Mane was someone who could cover, the striker position, left wing, right wing. Maybe Salah's more fixed, but with the goals he gets,
definitely Mane.
Very hard to
personally. Personally, even though Sadio Mane is probably my favorite player in the Jurgen Klopp era, and I include Mohamed Salah in that.
Yeah.
If you gave me the choice right now at the end of the season, I would have preferred to keep Salah like we have.
Yeah.
So it's a hella hard decision. Sadio Mane has made me sad this week.
Yeah.
Like, not made me sad, but I'm sad because he's leaving.
Of course, you'll be sad. No, of course.
He don't make me sad. I love him.
Yeah, no, the situation, of course.
But if you ask me right now, keep one, I would keep Salah because Salah is inevitable. But listen. Go on.
I was just going to say, I did something on Mane when it was linked that he could have gone. And I will say Liverpool could really regret it. But this was before, I didn't know you guys were going to sign Darwin Núñez. And that physical, that pressing machine kind of behavior that you see up front with Mane, I think Núñez is going to bring that. And people talking about first touch, listen, guys.
He's an animal.
I'm telling you, Núñez, I've watched this guy in the box, insane. And when he starts pressing, and he's going to be the first guy that's going to start in the press, triggering the press, he's going to Mane to Núñez. I think that's a perfect with Diaz. Listen, guys, honestly, if you're a Liverpool fan, hold your horses. You're not an Arsenal fan like me, who's been down bad. Come on, I think you guys are still in a very good position. 100%. And next season, Man City, you're right with Man City. Haaland, we don't know still.
None of us know. Look, I'm not saying that he's going to be a flop before people start saying, Grizz was out there saying he's going to be a flop. Now look at us. I'm not saying that. Yeah. He's a bad boy. You've just signed him for like whatever million and given his agent 30 million, his dad 30 million, paying him 350 grand a week. He's a bad boy striker. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we can't hear a certified say, X is going to be a bad boy, Y is going to be a flop. So don't talk down on Núñez and Carvalho and Diaz and then say Alvarez and Haaland are going to be big. Keep it balanced, wait for them to perform, and then we speak.
There's no Gary. Look at what Pep's done with number 9s in the past. Aguero, for a while, it was looking very dodgy. What was happening? It looked like he even fell out with him for a while. I don't think he'll fall out with Haaland. He likes Man City, all of that. But
Yeah.
I'm saying the gap between Liverpool and Man City isn't widening like this. I think in general the whole Premier League is going to come a lot closer, but I feel like Liverpool in general are still in a brilliant position. And Nunes for me, I'm saying it now, 100%. This guy will bang for Liverpool. First
I
season,
hope you're right.
No, 100%, bro.
I hope you're right, Bilal. Bilal, it's been a pleasure speaking to you, man. I'm going over 2 hours, man, and I still got.
I was gonna say you're a warrior, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, I needed this chat with the community, man. So big up everyone in the chat and the community today. Listen, hope to catch up soon, man. Every time I do a call in, feel free to call in, my brother.
Yeah, man. I'll jump on again, man. Good talking to you for the first time.
No problem.
Big up everyone watching. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Come on, man. Get Grizz going, man.
Nice one. Thank you very much for that. Look after yourself, Bilal, man.
You too, bro. You too, bro.
All right,
take care.
Nice one. Bye-bye. Okay, we got a couple people. Listen, I'm going to take the link out, people. No more call-ins. I've got the last two people. I've been going for 2 hours, 15 minutes. So hope you understand and, respect that I'm only going to be speaking for 2 more, and we're going to keep this moving. I've got Idris, going to add Idris to the stream right now. Idris has been waiting a little while still. Idris, welcome to the stream, my friend. Hope you're well. You're on mute, I think. You're on mute.
Salam, Grizz. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Salam. How are you? Where are you doing?
How are you doing, bro? I'm a big fan. Thank you for the chat. And I don't know, I think someone before me even said just how much of an inspiration you are, especially your stuff with the Big Six and with Steve and that. Like, don't know how much you mean to people.
It's humbling. It's humbling when you get people that say that kind of stuff to you, and you're thinking, whoa, wow. It's humbling. So love, man. Appreciate that, man. Where are you calling from, my friend?
I'm calling from Austria.
Okay, Arsenal fan, huh? So,
I'm a Ghana.
Okay. Very nice of you to call in, my friend. How are you? What would you like to speak about, my friend?
I don't know. We had a few tweets yesterday, I think, or before that, for the Arsenal moves. Like, I wanted to ask you, how close is that? Especially for Tielemans, Tielemans, and Jesus. Like,
I think I genuinely think the people that I spoke to with Arsenal, I genuinely think you're very, very much favourites for both of them. I think Jesus is on the verge. I think Jesus prefers to come to you guys, and for sure that's the Arteta effect. He knows Arteta from his time at City. But I just wanted to switch on you. How do you feel about those two potential incomings? Is it what you need? Are you happy with them?
Especially Jesus, I think he could be a real difference maker for Arsenal, especially the way we play and just the type of forward he is. You know best, is a pressing forward, a pressing monster, Klopp calls it, and Jesus fits that bill perfectly. I think what he gives us is something we haven't had in years in that centre forward position, especially with Lacazette. When you look at it, a real intensity. Like just our away record with Lacazette since he's been here has been atrocious, and I think Jesus, when he presses from the front, especially when you consider that he would probably play with Martinelli, that offers a whole different dynamic to the way Arsenal can approach games and the way they can pin teams back. Like, I know Bilal before me was pretty negative, but going into the season, I think this is the first time where every Arsenal fan can be pretty optimistic, like probably for the 3-4 years or something like that. Maybe even longer. Just because the profiles we are looking at, Grizz, is very encouraging and exciting. Like, it's all young, it's all fresh, it's all pressing. When you look at Jesus, Tielemans, he offers in the second phase, he offers so much more passing security than what we have, especially with Xhaka playing there. He just doesn't have the box presence that someone like Grizz, Tielemans probably can offer with deep runs. Like, when you look what Gundogan is doing for City, Tielemans could fit that role for us perfectly, I think. That Vieira looks extremely exciting as well, right?
Yeah, of course, of course. I forgot to mention Fabio Vieira, but I don't know, Idris, man. I don't know. I think you need more. I think you need more physicality in the team and leaders in the team. The two things that are always levied at you guys, that you don't have any leaders and you don't have any physicality. When the going gets tough, you guys don't get going. And that's been your Achilles heel for the last God knows how long. So far, and of course we don't know how the window is going to end, so far you haven't addressed that side of things for me.
I mean, I don't know if physicality really has been a problem. I mean, last season, for us, when you look at the problem, it's the chance creation, it's the creativity. We ranked 13th in open chances created. We just scored, I think, just above 50 goals. I mean, especially against teams like Liverpool and City, when we really struggled this up front against City. If we were just a little bit more potent in the home game against City, I think we wrapped that one up pretty comfortably, to be honest. Against Liverpool, we looked really toothless at home again. Like what we didn't have is just that a little bit of spark up front, and maybe the control in midfield, like something like I don't know how it sounds to you, but a midfield trio of Ødegaard, Partey, and Tielemans.
But this is my point. You're asking for something in midfield. You're asking for something up front. What you're asking from midfield in those situations, that something is called leadership. And this is what I refer to. And not only that, so for example, one of your most embarrassing losses last season, you had a few results embarrassing, right? One of the ones was against Crystal Palace at their ground, where basically they outran you, they out battled you, even though you've got the most technical, or by far the more technical players. Again, another game at I can't remember now, at your stadium where I watched, and I thought these guys are just outpowering you. You may have the wonderful technicians, and you've added to them. Fabio Vieira is
probably the first Crystal Palace game at home. I think you mean that.
No, the one where they beat you at their ground.
The second one that you watched at us.
Yeah. Which game was it, man? I remember speaking on the Big Six that it's the same problems, it's the same issues.
I think you lost it against in the Big Six. You lost it after the Crystal Palace game at home, where you said Arteta out.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, exactly. But because of the same problems, because of the same issues, when it came down to the crunch, you didn't have any leaders. I think you do create chances. I think Odegaard was a massive creator in your team. I think Saka had one of his best seasons he's had. I think Smith Rowe was fantastic. But you had no leaders in attack. And what I mean by that is it doesn't have to be a leader a leader in attack means who's a good finisher as well. Like someone who puts them away, who relaxes the attack. You had to rely on Nketiah. Lacazette's been there for a long time, but I don't think you can call him a leader. Aubameyang definitely wasn't a leader, so you bombed him out. In midfield, Partey has come in, but I don't know. Xhaka may be a leader, but he's a shit leader. We discussed last night, you can have leaders like Boris Johnson and Donald Trump are leaders, but they're shit leaders, right? So it's not about leaders, it's about having strong leaders. And I think you need to go into the market and buy Gabriels, your Tierneys, your Tomiyasus. Yeah, it's not about the names. Like those three names are pretty much not glamorous names, but you'd say that they're probably your best signings in the last few seasons, them three guys, right? So
yeah, what they're also they're pretty injury prone, like Partey, like Tierney. That's why, like when we are linked with players like Tielemans, who basically plays every single game for Leicester, that offers me like something that we haven't had at Arsenal before, or even Alessandro Martinez. Like
what does Tielemans offer you that you haven't had? I don't think Tielemans is better than, in my opinion,
surely better than Xhaka.
But he's a total different player from Xhaka.
Yeah,
like Tielemans is a final third player. You haven't got you haven't got a defensive 8. If he's going to play 4-3-3, is he going to play 4-3-3?
Yes.
As Partey as the holder.
Partey as the 6,
and that's already a
Odegaard
problem.
coming in as
And that's
3-8.
already a problem because Partey isn't a 6. This
That's
is already a
also-
problem. If
Okay.
Partey is not playing, who's going to be your 6? Lokonga?
The Congo, yeah.
Are you happy with that options?
I tell you what, I think people really underrate this guy. Like, he's 21 years old. He just came over from Belgium. He has all the qualities to be a 6. Like, when you look at the scouting, what we have done with him, when you look at, basically he's an under 23s version of Partey. He just hasn't grown into the role yet.
So
People-
are you confident?
people
Are
so
you
quick
confident?
to write him off?
Are you going to be so? Look, it's your team, it's your club. Are you confident of going into the season with Lokonga and Partey as your 2 options as the 6? Remembering Partey as a 6. Partey's best performances was as an 8, as a box to box for Atletico Madrid. He never played as a 6. Rodri was the 6 when he was there at that time as well. So Partey is your 6, who's very injury prone. You've said, not me.
Yeah,
You said he's very injury prone. And then if he's injured, Lokonga is your able replacement. And you are you confident of reaching the top 4 again with those options?
That's also where Tielemans comes in. You just say that we can only play the 3-3-3, right?
Tielemans' is weakness.
He can play
is
in a double pivot. He can play in a double pivot alongside Xhaka, for example. He has multiple positions Tielemans can play. He can play as an 8, and what he has done this season, play in a double pivot. So
No
we
problem.
don't.
If you think Tielemans brings something different from your team, for your team, then God help you. I genuinely think Tielemans brings technical excellence to your team, which you already have. Smith Rowe is technically excellent. Fabio Vieira now is technically excellent. Saka is technically excellent. Odegaard is technically excellent.
They don't create chances. They don't create chances. Just for 13th there in open chances created. I mean, when you look at it, 0-0 against Burnley, struggled against Crystal Palace, where we at home and away. Against Newcastle, we constantly got pinned back because we lost technical security in midfield. And there was another game early in the season against Everton, for example, as well. We completely lost technical security in that game and eventually got pinned back and lost that game as well. So what I'm looking for, I mean, you are looking for leaders, but I think there are leaders in this group, like Martin Odegaard. He's constantly talking. He's constantly dictating play. He's constantly alongside Arteta. Arteta is constantly in his ear. I think he's a leader. I think Gabriel is a leader. And I think Tierney, when he's fit, he's also a leader. I
agree with you. But there's a difference between being a leader in terms of, I think what you need, and this is sometimes not the right thing to look for, but in your case, I think you have to start somewhere. You need Premiership proven leaders. Someone who's going to come in and has been there and seen it and done it type of thing. Now, I know that's a simplistic way of looking at it.
What do you suggest?
So, for example, not in terms of leadership, but definitely in terms of steel and the power I was talking about, Basuma was ideal for you guys. For example, just right now, even as a defender, someone like, and look, people can talk about these kind of names and say, oh, they're not Arsenal types. Someone like a Tarkowski as a centre back, would be exactly. But exactly, this is it. This is what you guys lack. Because when you go to Crystal Palace, when you go to Brighton, when you go to Fulham, I guarantee you will be turned over again in the same mannerisms that you get turned over regularly. Because you may have the technical players, but they will outrun you. They will look for set pieces against you guys. They will look to get crosses in. They'll look to press you.
They had more possession than us. I just looked it up. They had more possession than us, Crystal Palace, and the 3-0 loss. So
that's even more embarrassing if you've got the more technical players.
But that's the problem. We don't really have the technical players. You're overrating these guys. They aren't that.
I'm definitely overrating them, but you're overrating them even more by saying that Tielemans is gonna enable you to get into the top 4.
I didn't say that.
Just Tielemans. So
I
are you
think
confident? Are you
he offers
confident
a
of?
profile that we don't have in that position. I don't think Bissouma would offer anything as close to what Tielemans can in the final third, and that is what we have lacked last season. I mean, if Bissouma is so good, why didn't Liverpool sign him? Considering that they already are on the hunt for a midfielder, and he fits that mold for Liverpool.
He
where
fits in terms of a player, yes. In terms of a character and person, no. Like James Milner said, we don't sign knobheads. Any person who has a case for sexual assault like he has, we don't touch with a barge pole. We don't go near him. So we operate differently. But look, Tielemans is a good player. I don't think he's a wonderful player. Fabio Vieira is a wonderful player. But again, I don't think it's what you need. But you can never not have enough good players. So yes, from that angle, you're buying more players. But I genuinely think if you don't end the transfer window with a more physically intimidating type leader, type player in the spine of your team, either as a centre back or a defensive midfielder, I think you will have very, very similar problems. I don't think you will finish above Spurs. I don't think you will finish above Chelsea. And that's the two teams that you need to finish above. Because Spurs have, in my opinion, bought very, very well. And they're continuing to target what they need. I think you're buying quality players. There's no doubting Fabio Vieira, Tielemans, and if you get Jesus over the line, I definitely think that will help. But I definitely think you need one more leader stroke physical player who will help you when the going gets tough. None of these players, in my opinion, will aid you when the going gets tough. Tielemans has shown at his time as Leicester, when the going gets tough, he needs to get off the pitch. Fabio Vieira is a wonderful technician, but this is going to be a whole different ballgame in the Premier League for him. He's not going to get the time and space that he gets in Portugal.
I think what you're looking for, this is workhorses. I don't think that's the type.
Yeah, you haven't got a workhorse, a physical workhorse. You can have workhorses. Saka works his arse off. Martinelli works his arse off. Smith Rowe works his arse off. All these guys work. It's not workhorses, my friend. There's a difference. You need a physical. Every coach that has won the league, look at Man City. People talk about the technicians, but you won't get a more physical side and a spine than Diaz, Rodri. You're talking at two of the strongest players physically in Europe. Liverpool in Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho. They're your examples right there.
Liverpool is a different system. Liverpool, their spine is probably the best spine I've ever seen. Like that goal.
But is your spine remotely close? Look, what did Conte do straight away? Conte brought in Romero, one of the strongest centre backs in Europe. Then he brought in Højbjerg and Bentancur to paired them up together, and now he's added Bissouma.
Yeah,
he knows. Do we think that Pep, Klopp, Conte, three of the best coaches in the world, don't know what physicality is crucial in this Premier League?
I think
who's your physical players that you rely on when the going gets tough?
Our physical players are Partey and Gabriel and Xhaka. But
that's it.
That's the problem.
But none of them are, apart from Gabriel, none of them are successful in what they're trying to achieve for your club. Partey,
so you don't rate Partey?
No. I don't rate Partey as a 6. That's not his position. He won't be successful. If he's playing Partey as a 6, he won't be successful. A, because he's injury prone, very injury prone. And B, if Lokonga is your replacement in that, Xhaka is awful, isn't he? Xhaka is awful. If you are still on the side of Xhaka and you think he can do a job for you, I think you're in the minority, massive minority.
In a double pivot, I think he's very. In a double pivot, in the number 8 role, I don't think he has any. He is just too clunky.
But I asked you what formation do you think Arteta is going to play for you?
A 4-3-3, and in case Partey gets injured, it's a 4-2-3-1.
If he's going to play 4-3-3, then if Xhaka is your 8, you're in trouble again.
That's what
He's
I
got
say. We need two number 8.
But even in a double pivot, he's got the discipline of a child. Is it not been proven? What evidence you got that he is disciplined enough to play in a double pivot, as opposed to his actual statistics of yellow cards and red cards and how many times he's let you guys down?
His stats last season when he played in the double pivot, not this season that just was finished, the season 2 years ago, from January to May, his stats with Thomas Partey in that double pivot role were excellent. Like, he didn't get a single send off. He was dominating the games. His interceptions were right up there in the league. His progressive passes, everything. I mean, the problem with Xhaka is that his reputation is so damaged right now that there is no way back for him. And
who makes that reputation?
I mean, do you really want me to go into this place? Like, even when he came from Gladbach, he always had that reputation of being.
Did you see the interview of him? He said, "That's the way I play, and you like it or you leave it." Is that an attitude of a leader that you require? After seeing him being red carded again, and even against us, I laughed because I knew he's about to get sent off when he pulled back Jota. I knew he's going to do it.
If he doesn't do it, Jota has a free tapper.
No, he doesn't. Jota still has to go around your keeper. No, he doesn't. Are you seriously defending Xhaka's time at Arsenal after he's thrown your shirt on the floor? This is where Arsenal are going wrong, Edris.
I defend him as a player. I don't defend his character. I defend his ability as a player.
So why is Man City and Liverpool way ahead of every team? Because our characters are absolutely part and parcel of the culture you bring up at your clubs.
I agree with that, yeah.
Your seniors have to be examples for your youngsters. So you can't just judge them on their playing ability. You have to judge them on their character. They have to have the culture. Why do people love Milner? He's nothing technically compared to some of the players that you guys have got. But my God, you would love to have a James Milner at your football club. You would love to have a Jordan Henderson at your football club, as compared to the likes of Xhaka and Partey. You get what I mean? This is you're comfortable with this, and fair play to you. Fair play to you. If you're comfortable with these characters at your club and you're confident, fair play to you.
I think
fair play to you. It's your club. It's your team. It's your club.
I get that, but what I grew up with is elite technical ballers. And we just don't have that. We just have Ødegaard and Smith Rowe.
But if you're looking to increase your technical ballers without changing the mental attitude and characters and leaders in your team, you're going about the wrong way, Idris. That's my opinion. You're looking at it from the wrong way. You build it from the other way around, like the Conte, like the Klopp, what they done first and foremost, like what Pep done. First, he came in and he got rid of his goalkeeper, Joe Hart. Then he got rid of his Bravo keeper. Then he fixed his centre-backs, got rid of Mangala, all these guys. Built a mentality through the team. He didn't go and buy technical, wonderful players that you want to buy and say, yeah, that's it. I just want technical ballers. You don't get anywhere in the Premier League with just technical ability. Honestly. Remember the Chelsea team? Nasty team to play. Remember Chelsea? Nasty. But physical leaders, Terry, Kante, even this one, Rudiger. Who's your guys when it going gets tough? You just mentioned.
Let me ask you this. Who are the physical workhorse types or the physical imposing players in Manchester City?
I've just told you, Laporte, Diaz, Walker. He's 6'2" and he bullies you. They play up against you. Kyle Walker. I'm just telling you. Kyle Walker, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Laporte, all physical, imposing players that you will never find better in Europe. Rodri is a man mountain. Kyle Walker is a physical specimen. You don't beat Kyle Walker physically.
I mean, what I'm trying to say.
Now he's increased that. even more by buying Alpha Inga Haaland, who's not technically gifted and beautiful baller like you're saying. He's bought Haaland because he knows what it takes to go to another level in this league. Otherwise, he could have bought Felix.
Yeah,
this league, I think you're underestimating what it takes to win this league. Well, you won't have any experience of it, obviously, with Arsenal, but you look back to your great teams. No, but it's fact, though, isn't it? It's fact. Look at Wenger's teams. Tell me who's your Adams, Keown, Vieira, Petit, Gilberto Silva.
Those guys, they aren't around anymore. They're barely around. Those guys, the Tony Adams of the world, the Vieiras of the world, the Keanes of the world. They just don't exist.
They do exist. You have to go and scout them. You have to find them. Your mentality as a fan base is, I think, changing. I still think you're stuck in this. I just want technical ability. I just want techers on my club. I just want people to be all.
That's not what I said. I said profiles, and I think the profile what Tielemans offers is pretty similar to the profile what Gundogan offers, and I don't see and the profile that Gundogan offers.
But what I'm saying, I agree with that. I agree with that. With that part of your point, I agree with. What I'm saying is there's other priorities in your team that you haven't addressed. And the only way we will see it is when the season progresses and starts. So Idris, I gotta go. I most welcome. Make sure you call in. Make sure you call in when the season has started, maybe 10 games in, and we will discuss. And you say, Grizz, I told you so. Make sure you say that to me. I want to be so wrong. I want you to tell me, I told you Tielemans is going to be the X factor. I told you Partey is going to be a brilliant number 6.
I don't hype up any of these guys, because I just tell you that the profiles that Arteta wants are pretty similar to the profiles that City have right now. I don't. But
what I'm saying is the profile of what City needs is nothing compared to what you guys need. That's what I'm saying to you. That's the finishing touches. That's called the finishing touches of profile players that you're looking for. I don't think you've got a solid enough foundation to be looking for those profile of players.
Do you think we need defenders?
Ben White is not good enough. Okay. Xhaka's not good enough. Saliba, maybe. Let's see how Saliba comes back in the fold. I think there's certain characters in your team that still need weeding out. He's done a fantastic job of weeding out a lot of bad characters and weak mentalities. He has. He's done and I've been, I've been speaking on that.
Yeah.
But let's talk again in game week 7 and 8. It will be amazing to speak up and catch up with you again. And we see how the season started for Arsenal and all the new signings have bedded in. Idris, really appreciate your call. Hope you take care of yourself, my friend. Look after yourself, my friend. Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye. Got a super chat from Aman who says, you're putting no respect on Partey. The game he's played, he's dominated, shown authority and been unstoppable. Aman, if he does that throughout the season, like I said, consistently, then I will hold my hands up. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. Come back to me, Aman. I think Partey is a very good player. I just said it. I don't think he's enough. I think you need another Partey. And I don't think Xhaka comes in that category. And I definitely don't think Lokonga comes in that category. But appreciate the super chat, my friend. Last caller of the night. Here we go. RD is in the house. RD, I'm so sorry for keeping you waiting so long, man. It's been a mad mental show. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Thanks. How are you?
Not too bad. Tell us where you're calling from, my friend.
I was basically calling in to talk about really the overall future of the phase 2 of Liverpool. Because obviously I'm really excited about this season, just for the fact that I fully got into Liverpool watching Fernando Torres, the traditional number 9, getting in behind, scoring all the goals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really hyped about seeing that coming out of Darwin Núñez, because obviously we've had the glory times of this like false 9 system, but I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I like to see the number 9 at the top, so that's why I'm excited. And it's also have faith in Klopp, man. Like, all these people on Twitter crying their eyes out. Like, come on, man. Like you were saying before, 2 games away from immortality, and we have Jurgen fucking Klopp. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, no, but listen, I get the frustration. I get some of it. I'm frustrated at times. I'm sure you are. You know,
obviously.
But it comes a point where you have to balance it up and see where you're at, see where your club's at, see where your coach is at, see where you're at compared to others. I know people say I don't want to be comparing to others, but it's a reality. It's a fact of life, isn't it? You have to compare to others because you're competing against others.
Yeah.
We're not competing against our own, are we? We're competing against others, so we have to compare ourselves to others. And if anyone sits there and tells me we're miles away from Man City and, oh my God, Chelsea and Spurs and Arsenal are coming and making signings and they're right behind us, I'll just laugh at them.
No. I was only going to say, like, the only team I'm like kind of worried about is Tottenham, because they have a world-class proven manager. They have Antonio Conte.
Sure, but I'm not worried about them. I would say
in terms of overtaking us, because they'll all blow up in like 2 years, so it's fine. But it's like, for one season, they're the only team that could potentially have that X factor of a Harry Kane having a season of his life, Son having a season of his life. You know, they've just got Basuma for a snip.
Yeah, like, fair point. Because of Conte.
Just because of Conte, yeah. But in the long term, Tottenham, no. Because you know Conte will leave. Like, so Tottenham fans should just enjoy whilst they have him, because he will win them a trophy this season, I think, personally. I think.
Look, if Conte doesn't win them a trophy, there's no other coach that will win them the trophy this century, I'd say. Yeah,
because Tottenham are getting a spine, right? And what the other teams are kind of struggling to get that full spine. Chelsea, their attack is in a mess, one of the flops of the century. Their defence has been gutted because of, obviously, they weren't able to tie down their centre-backs, and they made stupid decisions in letting go young centre-backs. So they're going to basically be a whole new team. For me personally, they're the team that's going to get 5th, and I do pip Arsenal ahead of them, just because it's a team that have been together. They're going to go another season. But yeah.
How do you feel about us then? Going into the season, we're 2 weeks away from pre-season. We've got another I think about 6 weeks before the transfer window shuts. You know, where are you in terms of mood, feeling?
Like, I'm feeling good. Like, I'm not going to expect. That's the thing, right? We just had an amazing season. Yeah, it ended a bit in disappointment, but we came so close to greatness. So everyone's now expectations is to go again, do it again. But that's not realistic. We're not going to compete on all 4 fronts again, especially when you look at the fixture lists with how many games in like October, and was it April or something like that?
Yeah, mental.
It was like potentially like 8 games in those months, which is ridiculous, by the way. Like, it's actually insane.
And we won them all. I think we won them all.
No, but I just mean because the World Cup is in the Christmas period.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Next season. Yeah. So it's like, so then you have obviously the Carabao Cup games, you have the FA Cup games. Klopp will write them off. He'll play probably the kids. And if we get through, we get through, kind of thing. So that's why I don't really think we'll get another domestic cup this season, because I do think he will rest all the first team. But you got to back us for the league, right? Why not? You got to back your team. Why not?
Yeah, you have to. You have to back your team. Look, or you can be realistic and say, "Oh, we've got no chance," which we haven't. Like, you know, it's going to be us or City. It's going to be nip and tuck again, and the fine margins. Like, they beat us by 1 point. They nearly collapsed on that last day. Again, many would say, imagine the season continued for another 2-3 games. I genuinely think we probably would have overtaken them, and then if there was another 2-3 games left of the season. We were 14 points behind them at one stage.
Yeah,
miraculous comeback. And again, people will say, yeah, but you shouldn't have been 14 points behind them in the first place. I know, mate. I know. But coming on the back,
you agreed to be on Twitter about that, though. To be fair, the fine margins.
Yeah,
you agreed to be on Twitter.
But it's true. It's true, isn't it? Yeah. It's like these are facts. These are not excuses.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we can make excuses. Like the excuses would be, we were 14 points behind them because we had a lot of injuries last season and we took a bit while to get going in the early part of the season. Too many draws. Yeah. The Brentford result was awful. The Brighton at home, just to name two in the early part of the season.
Oh, that Brighton performance. No. that was
there you go. But there you go. This is what I mean. It's like we always want more. We want it now, and I get that.
Yeah, exactly.
I want it. I want this. I want that. I want that. But sometimes reality, that's not reality, right? We know how we operate. We know how Jurgen Klopp operates. And if he's happy, who are we to be upset? I don't get it. Do we want to win it more than Jurgen Klopp? No. Do we want to be successful more than Jurgen Klopp and the players? No. Like Jurgen Klopp knows what it takes and what he needs from the owners or from the fans. And what he needs from us is unequivocal support.
Yeah, 100%.
The last thing he wants is the fan base to start bickering and saying, and then that emanating on, like, he doesn't give a shit about the social media fan base, but in terms of that emanating into the grounds and sort of people leaving early or not believing in the team. Because that's what he came in to change, right? That mentality from doubters to believers. Yeah. And now we've got elements of the fan base that are trying to make us doubt again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you get my point?
Yeah, 100%. Because like my worry actually comes not from this season, it's the next one. Because when you consider the amount of players that we've got going out contract, and when you consider the way we do business, it's gonna have to find some gems somewhere. Because obviously, if we're talking about Bellingham next summer, they're going to want 80 to 100 million for him, right? So, and then if Salah doesn't sign a new contract, where are we getting this money from? Do you know what I mean? Because you obviously have Firmino leaving, you'll have Milner will probably go, Henson will be a year older. I think Ox will stay this summer, I think, unless we get a really good deal for him. And that's when we might get a random 35 mil midfielder by the end of the transfer window. But I think he'll stay, run his contract down, and he'll go for a free next summer. So that's a lot of players going. I just don't know where the money's coming from next summer, to be honest.
Do you know how much we
spent?
That's the
Bellingham thing for life. Like.
Do you know how much we spent? Do you know how much we spent in the last 3-4 windows? Shall I remind you?
Yeah.
No, you've forgotten.
We've barely spent. Well, we had 2 summers not spending anything.
Okay, so let me tell you then, because you have forgotten.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, but I have to tell you some facts now.
It's more the sell to the buy though.
We haven't. I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you that as well.
Okay.
Which major player have we sold apart from Sadio Mane? None.
Yeah.
So where's the sell to buy? We've just bought in Khanage.
No, in terms of, so we sell the fringe or the young players to then fund the new players that come in, right?
Which club doesn't?
So what I mean is we won't be able to sell. They'll be gone for free. That's what I mean.
No, but okay. So we've just spent. Tell me how we've raised Konate 30 million, 35 million. Jota about 40 million. Simicast 12 million. I know you're thinking because you're not gonna.
It's the Bellingham transfer that's where I'm on about where the lack of money.
Let's address your first point because you're worried. So I've just told you we've just spent £200 million on Diaz, Jota, Carvalho, Konate, Simicast, Nunes.
Mm-hmm.
Which major player have we sold to finance those deals? So we haven't. So Sadio Mane has gone for 35 million. So we have raised finance, we have raised capital. Whether we've done that by selling fringe players is brilliant business.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So therefore, what does it show? It shows that they know where they're going and they've got it all sussed and planned, because they've
That's what I mean. It's the grand plan, right? Right. I'm curious as to what the grand plan.
Right. You're curious, and it's fine to be curious, but to say that you're worried and scared, I wouldn't be.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be. No, I'm not saying don't be. Be scared. Be worried, if that's how you feel. I'm just saying to you, they're experts in this field. However they do it, they will know they need to replace Salah if he doesn't sign the contract. Agree?
Yeah.
You don't believe they're not going to replace Salah, do you?
No, of course they will. Saka, just saying, below 1 year left on his deal. That's
but I'm just saying, so they will replace him, right?
Yeah.
They will go and try to buy another midfielder, whether it's Bellingham or whoever. So whether they sell it, whether they sell fringe players, let's just say or let's just say Naby Keita is sold next season or whatever. I'm just giving out names or examples. They will raise it. I just think we tend to look ahead so much without knowing much. With all due respect, me, you, and everyone else.
That's why I have full faith that we've got a plan, like 100%. But it's just don't know the plan. That's the thing. I have such faith.
And if you don't know the plan, like we don't, like I don't, like you don't, like all of us don't. What we do have is recent history to go by, recent evidence, proof to go by, which suggests they know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
There's never been a suggestion they don't know what they're doing, because we were in the shits 5-6 years ago, and now we're on top of the world pretty much.
Yeah.
We're pretty much along with Madrid, Real Madrid, and on a par with Man City, the best team in the world, on and off the pitch. Would you agree?
Oh yeah, 100%.
So that's not come by not knowing what they're doing, right?
Exactly.
Leave it. Don't worry. Don't panic. Leave it. They know what they're doing. Don't fall for this doom and gloom merchants. Do not fall for this doom and gloom. Don't fall for this trap of, we're downhill, FSG, of backwards, of bringing us backwards. Jurgen Klopp's going, Salah's going, Mane's going, Bobby's going, everyone's, oh shit, we're fucked. We're so not fucked.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we'll be fucked. As long as we've got Klopp, we're fine.
We're so not fucked. But listen, this stream's gone on for 3 hours, my cut-off point. It's wonderful being speaking to you. Look to chat to you again, man.
Been great. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe, people.
You're a legend, my friend. Take care of yourself. We'll speak very soon. Nice one.
You too. See you in a bit.
Bye-bye. Guys, this has been the Kall In Khan show. My God, 3-hour legendary stream. If you haven't liked, I don't know, man, if it's worth doing anymore, man, this kind of stream, if you still haven't liked the stream. Guys, I've got a membership that's active now. Go and become an ultra. You get privileges that you don't get on other channels. This has been Kall In Khan show. This has been a 3-hour epic marathon. I'm out of here now. I'm going to try to catch some sleep. Take care. We're good.